Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Ooh, welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 417, the Hot Takes and Predictions episode. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. And the return of Ryan Ripken.
Boys.
Gentlemen, a first.
This is true.
First with a third host on for the Hot Takes and Predictions episode. Ryan, it's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be back. We've come a long way, guys, from being on this Riverside together. And here we are.
For those unfamiliar, Riverside is the platform we use, not just like, hanging out by a river talking about baseball. That does sound nice. That does sound nice.
That sounds quite appealing. Maybe we should do that tomorrow.
Get that into the mix. Yeah. Boys.
Well, here we are, guys. 2024.
This is it right here. Yeah. This is where it all gets going. So.
All business. We got 2 suit jackets, 2 ties, a quarter zip, and the classiest shades you'll ever see in your life.
This is all the energy we need in 2024 from all of you. And we've been waiting. It's been a very dormant off season for a while, right? But here it is. Spring training. It's almost at its end. The opening day for the Dodgers and Padres is a week away. And then baseball is in full swing and we're just rocking and rolling. What a great time. What a great time to be alive.
Let's talk some baseball. I'm all about it. I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. But before we get into looking ahead to the 2024 season, per tradition, we're going to look back at our picks from last year, Nate, and this is always a good chance for you and I to have a little bit of a laugh.
Be embarrassed. Yeah, just going to be embarrassed, I think.
Because as everyone knows, and I say this every year, at the end of the day, and that this goes to show you, and if you listening made picks yourself and you looked back at the end of the year, you'll realize that none of us, not even the experts, have any clue as what we're talking about. We can give our best guess, give our best gut reaction, give our best guesstimate, but at the end of the day,
nobody knows.
So withhold judgment, if you will, because we also have some listener submitted hot takes, so you all are going to get an earful of it too.
I like that.
If you do choose to judge.
Let's throw everybody under the bus.
All right, so right off the top here, let's do a little rewind, shall we? 2023 AL East. Nate, you and I both picked the Yankees.
We did.
And much to Ryan's delight, was not to be the case. Baltimore Orioles took that. Nate, you and I both had the Guardians in the Central. Was not to be the case, as the Twins
0 for 2
took that 0 for 2. Nate, you and I both had the Astros. We got that one right. By a hair.
Yeah.
Might I add.
Yeah.
But a win's a win. NL East. You and I both had the Braves.
Good there.
We both picked the Cardinals. In fact, now that I'm looking at this, we swept the divisions in terms of similarities. Picked identically. Both had the Cardinals in the Central. What a disappointing year for the Cardinals, if I might add.
What are we doing?
And then pick the Padres out of the West.
Yeah.
Again, not good.
It ain't a hot takes episode if it ain't spicy. So that had spice.
Well, I'm just going to say it right now. I picked the Padres to win the World Series. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. Save me the embarrassment later. Okay, so we're just going to get that out of the way. Wild card, I went Jays, White Sox, and Angels. Could not have picked three worse teams, I think. I mean, sure, the Jays snuck in there, but I had them as the top wild card spot. They had the last wild
White
card
Sox
spot.
is insane. That's an absurd pick.
You had Mariners, Blue Jays, Angels.
Angels.
So more
wild
respectable.
pick.
More
Somewhat,
respectable.
yeah.
National League wild card, I had Mets, Dodgers, Phillies. You had Dodgers, Phillies, Mets. The wild card spots for the National League were the Phillies, Marlins, D-backs. So we were on the same page with the Phillies. We felt good about the Phillies. I felt great about the Phillies.
Yeah.
Picks for the World Series. I said I had the Padres, over the Astros. You had the Padres over the Mariners.
That would have been a fun World Series. That would have been fun.
Yours would have been more fun than mine. I do agree. Yeah. But I just got tired of sleeping on the Astros because they continued to show that their window is not up. And I mean, they gave it a good run. That's all I can say. Award picks, Rookie of the Years. I had Yoshida and Carroll.
Hey.
How about that? You had Volpe and Senga. So
I do think Senga finished like second or third, so it's somewhat respectable.
Well, mine
Volpe got a gold glove.
I'll take the gold on that. Cy Young, I had Framber Valdez and Zach Gallen. To be fair, Zach Gallen was in the hunt
for a while
until the last until like the end of August, September,
like 6 weeks, yeah,
6 weeks or so. You had DeGrom and Musgrove.
Tough. That's
That's real tough.
Tough look.
MVP, I had Shohei and Soto. You had a Mike Trout and Soto.
Overall, you did a little better.
I think so. I think so. You had a little bit better picks, a few better picks for the standings. I think I did a little bit better with the personnel. All right, just want to throw that out there, lay the groundwork for where we were coming from last year, set us up for our picks for this year. But before we do that, we're going to get into some listener hot takes. We're going to throw you all under the bus a little bit.
From last year.
Oh, no. We're
hot takes.
We're switching gears. We're in 2024 now. I like starting with listener hot takes when it comes to the content for the upcoming season because I want to soften the blow a little bit from some of our picks because every now and then we throw out a pick that's a few picks actually they're a little questionable. So at least if we throw the listeners under the bus, we'll feel a little bit better about ourselves. So we're going to start right here off the top. And I mean, what a segue after my bit that I just shared. Brad says Trevor Bauer wins the World Series MVP. So this is what we're dealing with. When I request listener hot takes, and I say this every year, it's a double-edged sword because sometimes we get some asinine submissions, but on the flip side, I'm not asking for lukewarm takes.
That's true.
So you know what? Brad's throwing it out there. He says Trevor Bauer. Let's follow the map here of Trevor Bauer. That he's implying that Trevor Bauer is going to sign with a team early enough to where he can accumulate a season's worth of, work. And then he's going to also be on the team that makes it to the World Series. And then he's going to win the World Series MVP. So a lot has to happen there.
Yep.
It's not looking good for him as it stands today, but just throwing it out there.
Nice
Eric says, Pirates go for a Cinderella run in 2024. They acquire Cease and Jock Peterson at the deadline, and they make it to the World Series. What are our thoughts there?
Well,
Jolly Roger?
I love the enthusiasm. Why not the Pirates? Why not the Pirates?
It's a clean slate.
That's the optimism I'm looking for. Okay.
We're at a clean slate.
I'm glad we're here.
Taking one jump, not just to make the playoffs, not just, win the division. We're going all the way to the World Series. Not saying it's unrealistic. It's not.
I think what were the two names? Cease and who?
Jock Peterson. Very specific.
That's
what pushes them over the edge.
That's what gets them over. Yeah, that's the piece that they were really missing.
Here's the real question, though, like on a more serious note, and I'm not saying that Eric's not being serious here. He may genuinely believe this. And if so, more power to you, Eric. Do we think with this Cease acquisition that we could see him on a new team post-deadline?
No.
I don't think so either.
He's got control.
I think. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just saw a lot of commentary on that specific item, and I didn't know if you all agreed or disagreed.
Yeah.
But.
Nah, not with control. If this was a one-year thing and he was said to be a free agent in the fall, maybe.
Fair enough. Trevor says, Angels will be better without Ohtani. First playoff run since Lord knows when.
Man, these are spicy. These are coming out the gate hot.
Remind me, 2014, correct? Last playoff run in Kansas City?
Sure.
14 or 15.
It was 14. Yeah, 14 or 15. I think it was 14.
It's been a minute.
Mike Trout's only hit
right now.
Mike Trout's only hit in the postseason home run.
We will check it out right now.
You want me to keep going?
Yep. Let's keep these rolling.
Doug says Twins win the AL pennant behind MVP Royce Lewis.
Oh, I don't hate that. I think that's spicy, but like it's not super unrealistic. Royce Lewis is a dude.
Yeah, but if he's not coming,
but
if he's not coming to the plate with the bases juiced every AB, how much value is he really bringing to that club? If we're being honest,
that's true.
Because that's all the guy does is hit grand slams.
Yeah,
even in spring training. Ryan, what do you got?
You know what? I was just checking because I remember facing him back in the day, especially talking about spring training. But the crazy thing is, how old do you think Royce Lewis is? So that's why I wanted to double check because I was trying to, because I'm older than him, obviously by some years. How old do you think Royce Lewis is?
I'm going to give him 27. I think he's a late bloomer.
Okay. Kyle?
That's probably what I would go with too.
Okay, yeah, he's 24.
Oh.
So
all right.
To give you context of still being a young player, I'm not saying all of what was the take, the boldness is going to happen, but Royce Lewis figuring things out, it's not out of the equation, especially when you consider how young he is. Now it's ironic because in his case of where he is compared to like Juan Soto, who's 25.
Yeah.
There's some ground to be made up, but I'm just saying maybe he's got enough time to put it all together.
Twins are going to need a little more, but I don't hate the Royce Lewis love. I'm okay with it.
What do we think is more realistic? Twins win the pennant or MVP Royce Lewis?
Royce Lewis.
Twins pennant.
Yeah. Really?
I think
you both said that so casually. Yeah, Royce Lewis. Twins win the pennant.
You think?
Hey, you just got to get hot at the right time. Look at the Rangers last year.
But it's the Twins, Ryan. It's the Twins. Don't be fooled.
Yeah,
don't be fooled by the shiny new toy. It's the Twins at the end of the day.
You know what I love about this? It's 2024, Kyle. So if you want to believe what you want, I try to talk about talking things into existence. So if you believe that the Twins and Royce Lewis can win the World Series and or an MVP, then it's going to happen maybe. But at least you're speaking it into existence that it could happen. We don't want
the
this
only way
negativity.
It's going to happen. Right?
Yeah. You're not. It's not going to happen by Kyle. You going? It's just not going to happen. He's not going to be good enough. That's not how this works. Okay, we want positivity in 2024.
You're right, Ryan. You're right. I got to clean up my act. I got to be better than this.
Yeah.
I got to be better than this.
Finally.
All right. You know what? You got to me, Ryan. As we go through our picks, I may even make some adjustments on the fly based on that stern talking to that I just received.
There it is.
So stand by. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep these takes rolling here. Dustin says the Mets will win the World Series. Look, I'm all about positivity, but I'm also about realism here, and I don't think that's even worth entertaining.
I can't get there.
I know what that one's a go. That one's just I appreciate your outlook, and we leave that there.
That's Ryan's way. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. That's his way of saying, "Shut up." Don't ever say that again.
Who said that one?
Dustin,
you're a good kid.
You're a good kid, Dustin, if you don't know, that's from Ryan. That's the ultimate stamp of approval there.
Stamp of approval means it's the highest compliment you can get from me. It really is.
I love it. Micah says we will see 2 first-time MVPs this season. I like that. That's a very
take. Creative hot take.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
I don't know if we've received that before, but I like it.
Love it.
Those get my juices flowing. I like that.
He also, speaking of juices flowing, Micah also says the Yankees-Blue Jays rivalry will be the most heated in baseball this season. It's been brewing for years now. And boy, do I agree. We're going to see some benches clearing between the Yankees and Jays.
I'm here for it. I think I'll touch on this a little bit later. Who said that?
Ooh, Micah.
I'll come back to that thought, Micah.
Murray says, this is a hot take. He says, I'll be able to go to a Dodgers game filled with beers and food without hurting my bank account and mental health.
That is the hottest take we'll hear all day.
That is a bold take. I would love to know. I'm gonna have to circle back with him on this and find out what that bill would end up running. Yeah, because I'm curious. Because those tickets
think Murray
are bumping.
Can put it down too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Murray can throw it back. Yeah.
AJ Torres, friend of the pod, AJ Torres says Royals win the AL Central. MVPs are J-Rod and Freddie Freeman.
Ooh.
Now again, don't allude to any of your picks later on. So if these takes appeal to you, especially because they maybe align with your picks, don't give anything away.
Why can't I say ooh? Why can't I get excited about it?
I'm just saying.
Why can't we get excited about? You will talk about original take with that. That's being specific, but it's also good to think about it because J-Rod, great player. Freddie Freeman, obviously great player. It's not the everyday, and I love Shohei Ohtani. I think he's great, but it's not the same conversation over and over again. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Think that they're all great players. Love, and it's a thing it's hot enough right there, but that's super. Like that is a realistic thing. Mm-hmm. Kansas City. Come on back into the equation.
The water's fine. Might dabble in that a little bit later on. I don't know. We'll see. I thought
you said not giving anything away.
I said I don't know. I said we'll see. It's very ambiguous.
You're sending
Ryan.
very conflicting messages to all the 3-0 takers out there.
I'm just keeping them in the dark until we get to the time in which we make our picks. That's all I'm saying. Lucas says, I want to shake your hand. Lucas says Yankees will be 13 games back at the All-Star break. Boone gets canned.
Whoa. Relax, Lucas. Relax. Ease up, guy.
I want to shake your hand, Lucas.
Ease up.
You know, he could be right. Could be wrong.
Flip of the coin. Could go either way. Antonio says Braves get to the wild card spot and win it all against the Mariners. Michael Harris gets MVP and Chris Sale gets Cy Young.
Wow.
Is there a world? Believe it or not, I could see the Chris Sale thing happening just on an absolute fluke. He just stays healthy all year and goes back to vintage Chris Sale. But is there a world where Michael Harris wins the MVP ever?
I like the breakout season from Michael Harris. I don't hate it.
But is that his skill
I think the
set,
wildest thing of these would be the fact that the Braves are in the wild card and not winning the division. Honestly. I think that's wilder than the others.
I don't know. I think I think the Phillies, you never know what's going to happen. Some guys might get injured. Maybe something's a little bit off. You feel like the Braves are just a juggernaut and everything should go their way, right? But maybe they need to be in the wild card to win this World Series. And I'll say this. If Michael Harris and Chris Sale are Cy Young and MVP, then it is a guarantee that the Braves are going to win the World Series. I'll tell you that. If both those guys, if those two things happen, the final thing, the Braves win the World Series, will most certainly happen.
I'd like to know the last time we've seen a team hammer down a Cy Young and an MVP in the same season. That's a tough little trivia nugget. I wonder if it's out there.
Oh, it's got to be out there.
It's got to be, right?
Sure it is. We can do a little digging.
Yeah. We won't.
Austin says the A's win the World Series after finishing a measly 80 and 82. No comment. See,
what's worse, that one or the Mets one?
The Mets one. The problem, and unfortunately, we're kind of limited to these listener hot takes, is just because of the volume that we get. I have to limit it to comments and DMs, because if we did a voicemail for every one of these, it would just take forever.
Yeah.
So, but the hard part about having to read these is you don't know the tone that the user is submitting it with. Like,
is he serious?
Does Austin think the A's can go 80 and 82? We don't know. Will they go 80 and 82? Absolutely not. But it's a matter of getting to the heart. You got to figure out where Austin's coming from. And we need to have a conversation. Because
where he's feeling it. He's feeling it from here.
If he genuinely believes that, I got to know where that's coming from.
Yeah.
Speak it into existence.
I got to manifest it somehow.
And the Oakland A's stay in Oakland. Wow. Speak it into existence.
What a story that would be.
I mean, it's a shame they already have a movie after the A's. I mean, you'd have to make another one.
You'd have to if that happened.
You'd have to follow up Moneyball with Moneyball 2. Moneyballs. Ken, last one here, and then we'll get into some standings. Ken says Trevor Bauer signs back with the Dodgers and wins the pitching triple crown.
Wow.
Safe
Awfully
to say.
Spicy. I think that's the last place he would go back to.
I was going to say. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Yeah. That one, I like to be as positive as they come. It's speaking into existence. I don't think that you can speak that one into existence.
He doesn't have it in him. He can't do it.
Not with that one, especially not with that one. I think the Dodgers made it very, very clear that reunion does not seem to be in the cards.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's transition to some standings predictions. Where do we want to start?
Where would you like to start?
Where would I like to start?
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I'm at heart, I'm an AL guy. We all are. Let's switch it up. Let's go National League. We'll start out west.
That. Yes.
Work our way back east.
Huge fan.
All right, working from the so the way we're going to do this, Ryan, as a reminder, as a refresher.
Hot takes rook.
We're going to work.
Hot takes rookie.
Correct. We're going to work from the bottom to the top for each of these divisions. So, starting in the National League West, starting at the bottom, who do we got?
Right guy, lead us off.
So just the bottom pick.
Yep.
From National League West.
Last place.
I think it's going to be set in stone with the Colorado Rockies. I don't think.
Yeah. I think that's a sweep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Love it there. Great place. Not the best place for the team to have success, unfortunately, in the 2024 season. Love it.
Colorado Rockies fans. Define success. Because if we're talking beer sales.
Oh yeah, they'll clean up.
If we're talking ticket sales on a cool
success
Friday
on the field.
evening,
Success on the field. Success off the field? Hey,
Yeah.
I might be out there too. I might go out there and visit, do a little tour around and check things out. Success on the field, unfortunately, does not look optimistic for the Colorado Rockies, especially in the division that they are in.
Yeah. They do. I will say there's some names. There's some names that I think you could potentially see making an impact someday. The Nolan Jones kid, that kid looks real. So
I've mixed him up with Spencer Jones about a dozen times in the last week. So I'm going to need to make sure I stay on top of that.
Nolan Jones, not quite as tall, but tall and good. He's got some juice.
So Nolan Jones, I actually played against him because, correct me if I'm wrong, unless I'm losing my mind. Yeah, he was a second round pick for the Guardians. So I played against him when he was in the Cleveland organization. Super nice guy, super talented. And you're right. There are, the kid can swing it. So bright future, just when you're looking at the whole landscape, one guy, one young player, or a few of them, it's going to take a little bit more for them to put it all together.
Yeah.
The 4th spot.
I'm not buying in. I'm not buying in on the offseason. I'm not buying in on, hey, we've turned a corner. You're still just aimless with your signings, with your moves. I don't know what's happening. San Francisco Giants are coming in 4th place. Sorry. Sorry to say that, but I'm not that sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm not.
You don't even need to explain. You've been the furthest from a Giant supporter.
I have.
For as long as we've been doing this. Ryan, what do you got?
Up until the move, or up until the Padres offseason in general has not been very optimistic, at least, going into spring training. I just felt you're missing a lot of pieces. I had them in that spot. However, it really does feel like it's, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go Giants as well now. And they're going to go to 4 just because I don't think they have enough at the moment, especially with the change.
You're banking on Robbie Ray coming back. You're banking on just too many things. It's not there. It's not there. I'm sorry.
They need to stay healthy. And they have a couple guys like Mike Yastrzemski and Lamont Wade. He's a Baltimore guy too. Shout out Monty. Guys that they could. It's just the Giants have ball players that go out there and play, but a little bit of a change of direction this off season going into this season. It just feels like the other 3 teams are just a little bit better right now. But I'll tell you what, I did have they would have been my 3rd team. I'll say that they would have been my 3rd team.
I'm going Padres, and to be fair, I had filled these out prior to the Dylan Cease acquisition.
Is it enough? Is it enough to make that switch?
That's the thing. I don't know. And to my own credit, in my defense, there's no guarantee that we get Cy Young caliber Dylan Cease.
That's true.
There's no guarantee. And I saw a lot of people saying, well, if you don't think that, then you just don't know ball. It's like, well, no, that's not how that works. There's no guarantee with anything.
He hasn't been great. As of late, he has not been great.
And, sometimes changes of scenery works for some guys. Sometimes they don't. So there's a lot at play there. He's going to be in a – I put the tweet out yesterday. I said Chicago to San Diego has to be the greatest city upgrade of all time. Forget baseball, just cities. So maybe he has that working to his advantage. Maybe that gets him back to where he needs to be. But like we've talked about, sometimes these guys go out to San Diego and they forget how to play baseball because you get swept up in the sunshine and the street tacos. So
sounds nice.
Sounds very nice.
Should I keep him at 4 here? I think I'm going to keep him at 4.
Hey, it's your list.
Yeah,
your list.
Giant. I'll go Giants at 3, and it sounds like you guys have Padres 3.
Yeah, I do got Padres 3. I'm not saying Cease is going to move into an ace. Rotation wise, the depth there kind of does more for me than whatever the Giants are doing. Like, there's a lot of depth they got from the Yankees trade with Soto. I think Michael King is better than what people really understand, because I watched him a lot last year, and I'm telling you, that kid is going to be very good. I do see a bounce back from Joe Musgrove. Last year, Joe Musgrove was not what he really is. I'm going to chalk that up as a wash. I see him coming back. Yu Darvish is still able to spin it. You have another year of Tatis settling in and kind of distancing himself from the nonsense and the suspension and everything. So I see a little more success out of the Padres this year.
Yep, I'm with you. Padres. And honestly, this is the one thing I will say. I don't think it's enough for them to win this division. I don't think it's enough for them to be second in the division, at least just on the paper side. But the one thing that they have working for them this year is the expectations are off.
Right.
Like, yes, you just got Dylan Cease, but no one is counting them in. So I would not be surprised the Padres finish higher in this division and push higher up, because they're no longer considered the juggernaut that is supposed to win it all, which people projected.
Yeah.
But they still have a very talented team. Curious how the whole outlook after the Soto trade, what that will look and be like in the future. And by the way, you still have some really good hitters in your lineup, pairing Cease in that rotation. See what happens. But literally now they have, in my mind, they have they're just playing with house money, and they got a very good player who I do believe, besides eating a lot of street tacos, is going to enjoy his best season in the last couple of years.
My only two things, I'm going to say I'm a Mike Schilt guy. I didn't really understand why the Cardinals moved on from him. So I think he's going to change a lot of what was going on. Bob Melvin, there's reports of like some aimlessness going on amongst the organization, and not a whole lot of organizing going on. And then my other thing being, I think the self-awareness to switch Xander over to second base, and to make that move before the season, and just be able to understand that it isn't so much about the contract and the name, and it is more about what may be a better fit for the team. So
I hate that you're right on that, but the bias is at play here a little bit for me, but I think you maybe could have gotten at least one more year out of him at short before you finally rip the Band-Aid off. But to your point, Ha-Seong Kim, I think is a great fit at short, and I think he'll do very well there. Number 2, I've got the D-backs.
All the way around there.
Sweep across the board.
Yep.
Not much to say there. It's not a mark against them. It's just the Dodgers. I mean, this is probably going to be the most popular pick amongst podcasters and media members alike, making their preseason predictions. Dodgers at the top.
I'm going to give credit to the Diamondbacks for filling holes that they had. Third base was a hole. You go get Suarez, added to the rotation with Erod.
I really liked that pickup. I think that was a very good addition.
And, I think Gabby Moreno's, in my mind, probably a top 5 catcher in baseball. Another year of just progression and maturity out of Corbin Carroll, like Alec Thomas. Like, they're going to do similar things they did last year, I think. I don't know if it's meaning a huge postseason run and a World Series appearance, but this is, I think, the beginning of a window for the Diamondbacks.
NL Central. Ryan, did you have anything on the Dodgers before we move on?
Nope. Let's just talk about the team that would be the biggest. Last year was the Padres. They were
a lot of pressure.
They didn't win. It was disappointing. Like this, everything. The Dodgers, the expectations are even that much higher. But literally, best team that we've seen top to bottom in quite some time.
Yeah.
NL Central, starting at the bottom here. I'm going Reds.
Ooh.
Don't you dare say who I think you're going to say.
Pirates at the bottom. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God, dude.
I love you. I love them. I appreciate the enthusiasm.
I will not hear it. I will not hear it.
I appreciate the enthusiasm. I'm going to be honest.
What happened to the optimism?
The real kicker for me was seeing that Aroldis Chapman video the other day, and that to me just put the nail in the coffin of where they're going to finish.
Okay, I'll hear you out on that. That's understandable. If you want to go Pirates 5, just based on that,
that solely there alone,
wholeheartedly understand.
That's tough.
Right.
What you got?
It's tough for that was tough for the program.
That was not a good look.
That was tough for the culture, man. Just men as a whole, you're just putting us in a bad light there.
There's a lot there, and that there's a lot of questions. But one answer I have that is not related to that. The fifth team, I think the Brewers.
All right. Look at us. All three different.
I think the upside for Joey Ortiz and DL Hall going over there, I think it's tremendous. I just think there's a little bit of concerns overall when especially you lose Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
And I just think that the other teams right now are moving in a better position. Not that the Brewers are always the team that like surprises you, right? And I hate even saying that. I really do. But that's just how it feels it's a changing of the guard. I'm always curious when teams have a changing of the guard too, especially managerial wise. I don't know if I felt like the Brewers necessarily got better going into this season like they had in years past.
Devin Williams out for at least 2-3 months. Yeah. It's
a big loss.
No real progress there. Yeah, I imagine Willy Adames finishing the year in a different uniform.
It just feels like a sell-off for me. Like it's a sneaky sell-off situation for the Brewers. They're going to see what's going to happen, keep the band together, kind of. You traded Burns, but I think that they're teetering on the possibility of a rebuild.
Yeah. Agreed.
Moving along here, I got Brewers at 4.
I do as well. Yeah.
I'm going to go Pirates at 4.
I cannot. I can't with the negativity. I thought mere minutes ago, we're talking about positivity and speaking it into existence. And we're not even giving the Pirates a shot here.
Hey, we are. It's just, you're right. You're talking about the
Pirates at 4. That's not giving them a shot.
This Chapman situation is speaking into existence a very bad vibe. But that's not the reason why I was going to go with that initially. I think the Pirates are still trying to figure out culturally how to win more games. I think that they're close. I think there was flashes. I still just have a little bit of doubt if they're going to put that fully together, especially when you're looking at who else is left in that division. And the reason why I chose them instead of the other 3 teams left to pick, I just am not fully convinced. O'Neal Cruz, beast, needs to stay healthy. They very well could be a playoff team. Very well could be. I just have not been sold yet that the Pirates know how to be that playoff caliber winning team. I'm just not sold going into the season yet.
It's not enough depth for me. They're getting there, just not enough depth.
I'm gonna go Pirates 3. And if I'm being honest, it was a game time decision whether or not to put them 2.
You did all of that.
Game time decision at almost 2?
Almost put them at 2.
Wow. All right. Sounds good.
And I'm gonna go ahead and spoil the bit here at the end that we were gonna get into in terms of closest races or across the league. Like which pairings did we have the most trouble with? For me, it was whether or not I was going to put the Pirates at 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay.
With this other team that I'm about to get to.
Okay.
All
right. I got the Reds at 3. I kind of like what's going on over there. I kind of like what they're doing. I think they're starting to make some moves. I think they're starting to gather a pretty good core. I think a healthy Hunter Green, full off season, full spring training. TJ Friedel, like you got dudes that can bang a little bit. The Marte news, yeah, that hurts. I don't know what it is. I like what they're doing.
What was the contract they brought India back for, or the extension?
I didn't realize he got extended. I thought it was just arbitration.
I thought did they not extend him? Was I making this up?
Maybe.
Might be thinking of somebody else. But you like what they're doing over there?
I do like what they're doing. I'm a fan of what they're putting together. I'm not saying it's a playoff team. Let's be real. The NL Central is one of the weaker, if not the weakest division in baseball.
It was a 2-year extension. That's what it was.
I think he's sliding over to first base. I don't know what the Marte stuff, because Marte, I think, was going to start the year at second. I don't know. They can hit a little bit. There's no expectations. I love the fan base. I love the small ballpark.
Yeah, I like what the Reds are doing a lot. I really do. So they are not staying in my third spot. The third spot for me is going to be the St. Louis Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have to bounce back. It's their window. They're running out of time, but they did invest a lot in more of veteran presence and players. And they do have some great veteran guys. You know, what they bring in Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn,
Sonny Gray.
Talking to the Orioles guys, no one had a bigger impact on the team than Kyle Gibson last year. So I think that he's going to bring a very, very, very important culture component to the team. But I just have a little bit of doubt just of the dysfunction that the Cardinals went through. And I know that they're trying to keep things together, but they're kind of in the similar boat for me with the Brewers of you don't play well to start off and you're right back in that same, like they had that conversation last year. Do we sell? They chose not to sell. So now you have to, it's either this year, it's kind of boom or bust. So I just think right now I'm putting the Cardinals there just because they're teetering for me. And it's all lying to me, or it's all on the veteran presence. And quite frankly, can those guys get them to where they want to go, which I still have a few questions.
I've got the Cardinals at 2. I know I've been for the majority of the offseason, I've been ragging on their on the geriatric rotation that they seem to have. But I was thinking about it more, and I thought, even with the age, I'm gonna have to go ahead and give the nod rotation wise, at least. The lineup, you know what it is. You got Nolan, Pauly, so on and so forth. But with the rotation, that's for me what pushed the Cardinals at 2 versus the Pirates being at 2 is because I think, even with that age, at the very least, they got the experience. And I think you put together a good season from Sonny Gray. Kyle Gibson shows you what he can do again. And I think that it's enough to at least finish second in the division. A little bit of a bounce back for me. I was real down, if you remember, real down on the Cardinals last year, as were many people. But I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt that it was a little bit more of a fluke than maybe people give them credit for. So,
give me Cubs at 2.
Wow,
I am doubling up. I took the Cardinals to win the division last year. I was 1 year premature. I'm doing it this year. Give me Cubs at 2, Cardinals at 1.
Wow.
I think there's for sure question marks in the rotation. I like the Cardinals rotation more than the Cubs. I'm just not quite sure. We never know about Imanaga. Like we just never know about the first year coming over into the bigs. So that's a question mark for me. I do think the Cubs are going to hit pretty well, but just pitching wise, I'm giving the slight edge to the Cardinals with the expectation that veteran guys are going to be able to hit in the lineup. I like the roster flexibility that the Cardinals have. I like that, Tommy Edman can bounce around. Brendan Donovan can bounce around. I like the Brandon Crawford signing to almost, kind of mentor Mason Wynn into that role. Jordan Walker being here full time. Hopefully there's some clarity on Wilson Contreras' role. I think this is a mix. Now, I'm not a huge Ollie Marmol guy, so maybe there's a little bit of a skid and a change there at some point during the year. I just believe in that roster a little more than the Cubbies.
It's interesting you bring up Marmol. I think that, to me, was the question mark because the first time the Cardinals had that bad of a year, and it's not fair to put that on the manager, but if you are managing the team, that does carry a lot of weight. And that's why, even for me, I thought for a while, how important is having a great manager? It's extremely important. So it pains me with this because I thought the best manager right now in the NL Central is Craig Counsell.
It's fair.
But I'm going to take the Cubs at 2 because that means the Cincinnati Reds.
Oh,
Cincinnati Reds are winning the NL Central this year. And I am really, really intrigued because I thought that there was a spurt of time last season where they figured out how to win. They fell apart a little bit at the end, but they still stayed in the race, still battled till the end. I think that they got better. They gained more experience. I like their young starting rotation that they have, and their bats are very, very good. I mean, last year, you're looking at guys, Steer, McLean. I know Ellie De La Cruz got a lot of, publicity, and he had some really good flashes, and then he kind of struggled, right? That's a part of it. Hopefully, if he can bounce back, I just really like the makeup of their roster.
Yeah.
And I think that if they can just fix a couple things, it's really, to me, it really can be their division to lose, but it should be fun. It's going to be wide open. It really should be a wide open division, but give me the Reds, guys.
You talk about a hungry fan base too. If they catch heat, that fan base could stoke that fire.
That is a baseball city right there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ellie De La Cruz is one of the hottest hitters in spring training.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken,
been going off.
And I'm not gonna buy into the whole spring training for that, just because but all you can do is play your best when the time comes, right? So if you're hitting the cover off the baseball and that puppy's going everywhere, great. But they're going to need that Ellie De La Cruz that came up there and stole MLB by storm. They need that type of player. And if they get that type of player, watch out.
Speaking of hot hitters in the NL Central, O'Neal Cruz leads all of baseball in home runs for spring training. So again, take it with a grain of salt. I understand, but
he probably is going to hit, if he plays a full season, he's going to hit at least 25. That's
fair.
Rip
That's
guarantee right now. Guaranteed. Lock it in. Guaranteed.
NL East. Starting from the bottom here. How about this? You're going to like this.
I think this is going to be pretty similar. No?
I don't know. I'm going Mets. No. I'm actually going Marlins to finish last.
Really?
I've been trying to tell people, especially out in this area, people want to talk baseball with me, and they naturally want to talk Nationals. And they say, like, what do we have to look forward to? And I said, just hold on. Like, I know the future doesn't seem terribly bright, but they've got some names that I think given a little bit of time, and I've been saying this for like 2 years now, and I'm saying all this, and I put them fourth. So it's not like I'm giving them the division, obviously. Sure. But I think this is a year where they finally creep out of the cellar just a little bit. I'm not giving them 90 wins, but just enough to maybe finally not be in the basement of the NL East.
I got them in the basement.
Understandable.
You know what? I don't think you're crazy. I don't. But for having the Marlins down there, I'm not really sure. Now, obviously, the pitching department for them, they have some really intriguing arms. Obviously, surprising year that they had. I'm actually going to take the Mets to finish last. Oh. I think that the Mets.
Yes. Pour it on, Ryan. Pour it on heavy.
I want
Ryan,
the best.
Say it again that the Mets will finish last.
I think the Mets are going to finish last.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry. And the thing is, like, I do actually like the Mets. Like,
No, you don't, Ryan.
I do.
Nobody likes the Mets.
But just being real with it, to me, I just feel like they're still kind of in that no man's land, and I just don't know what to think of that. The Nationals have direction, and that's what I like to see. The Nationals, for me, you can see that kind of light, and you saw that flash, and I love what Davey Martinez and Mike Rizzo were doing, that they still have a grasp on the group there, and that's so important, that you still have a grasp on the guys there, and they kind of still believe in the message that you're trying to build. I don't think the Mets have the full message right now. So therefore, that's why I'd sit there and go. And actually then to then surprise, I'm going to have the Marlins at 4. Oh. Marlins are going to be at 4 for me.
Which means that Ryan has the Nationals finishing in the top 3.
Oh,
putting the pieces together. How about that?
Throw them on.
Putting that college education to use. All right, so Ryan's got the Marlins at 4. I mentioned I got the Nationals at 4. Nate,
I got the Mets at 4. I got the Mets at 4. I've got a real spicy take that's coming later that revolves around Metland. It's just the Mets. There's nothing else to say. They're just the Mets.
We can just leave it at that. I'm going Mets 3. I don't see them doing anything special this year. I know there's a small percentage of people out there that think, similar to the Padres, where maybe the expectations are a little lower coming into this year, or significantly lower, depending upon who you ask, that maybe they'd be capable of stringing something together. And as we said, it's certainly possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think it's going to be enough of a fall off to put them at 4 or 5. So I've got them at 3. Brian, right. Nate, where do you guys have at 3?
Nate, after you.
I got Marlins at 3. I believe in Skip Schumacher. I like what he did last year. I like what he's going to do. I think he's going to be a pretty decent manager in the show for a while. Yeah, they're missing pieces. The rotation still looks pretty decent, and I'm still optimistic of the options they have. Yeah, hitting is a little bit of an issue. I'm probably in last place of being a TA guy, so I don't know if that's the full season answer, that shortstop, but I like their pitching pieces. Let's just say, as far this is probably to me the most top heavy division in baseball. Like, there's going to be I think a double digit gap between first, second, and everyone else below.
So you don't believe in the Washington Nationals to finish in the top 2?
I do not.
You don't? Oh, well, I don't either. I think that's where the line draws. I think the Nationals are going to build some great momentum. I think they're going to ride a successful campaign for them, as far as people are they're believing what the Nationals have in the future. I'm going to put the Nationals at 3, and hopefully that's going to continue to catapult them into hopefully being in the discussion to be a playoff team in 2025.
Oof. I can't get there. I can't.
I
respect it.
It's that East Coast bias Ryan and I have out here. We believe in the Nationals. Nats Nation.
Hey, that's the team that drafted me. Go Nats, baby. I hope the best for them. Shout out the Nats.
Shout out. Gotta love it.
Let's go Walgreens. Oh, no, that's dead. I'm sorry. That logo's dead, isn't it?
I don't know completely, but they're phasing it out pretty significantly.
Wonder if Walgreens threw a fit. It makes you think.
Do you guys want me to go with the second team? Do you want me to start it off? You want me to just right in there, or do we have a consensus?
For the sake of time, give me your 2 and your 1.
Okay, I'm actually gonna go Phillies 2, Braves 1. Let's just keep it that.
Well, you may be going Phillies 2, Braves 1. But I am also going Phillies 2, Braves 1.
Full sweep there. Yeah.
All right, clean sweep. So did we all agree to finish out the National League? That was neat.
That was
That
good.
was nice. That was a nice moment there that we just shared. That was nice.
Let me shake your hand.
I want to shake your hand. American League. Can we just agree? Athletics 5,
Yeah.
Yep.
Angels 4.
Yep.
Okay. I guess this is where it would get interesting. I've got Mariners 3.
I do as well.
3?
I do as
do
well.
not.
Okay.
I got question marks around the lineup. I'm not sure if you can just move on from a Teoscar and a Suarez and still get the same kind of production. I'm hoping Julio shows up and just like really breaks on and just like goes superstar mode. I'd love to see that. I like the additions of Mitch Garver, Luke Raley. Like they brought in some juice. I can't quite. Their rotation is, I love their rotation. I'm going to sit here and say very big fan of their rotation. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
I
as
can't
long
get
as
higher
George
than
Kirby's only going 5 innings, then we're at a place where you can really love him.
It's a low blow.
Should be a George Kirby redemption of his image tour this year. I think he's a tremendous pitcher. That comment definitely got him in some hot water. I think he's going to have a great year. I'm going to take the Rangers at 3. I think the defending champs dropped down to 3.
Wow.
I think that they're still a very talented team. I think they're still a team that just needs to get in. But I like them at 3 this year. I just think the challenge of trying to repeat and get back is not as easy as it seems. And I think the other 2 teams, the Astros and the Mariners, are going to continue to fight that going into the year.
That's a big World Series hangover to drop down to maybe missing the playoffs. I don't know.
You might not know. I guess you'll see you to find out.
Brian, don't do that.
That's crazy.
Don't
crazy.
Balance them. Don't balance them, please.
That's crazy.
We'll find out, but man, that would be quite a letdown. Oh boy, here come the shades. I guess we know our answer. I'm going. Did I say Mariners 3?
Yep.
I've got Astros 2, Rangers 1. I think this is finally the year. I've been saying this for the last 2+ years. I say, when is the Astros window finally going to close? And I've been wrong every single time. I think this is finally the year. And I'm not even saying the window's closing. I'm just saying it's closing enough to where the Rangers presumably will be the team to take the throne, at least for the near future. So I've got the Rangers at 1. Am I an idiot for saying that? Am I gonna be eating my words come October?
Probably. It's what the Astros do. That's what they make you do. I have the opposite. I've got Rangers 2, Astros 1. Even with like the missed time from Verlander, I still like that rotation. The bullpen with the addition of Hader is probably a top 3 bullpen in baseball. But Alex Bregman in a walk year, like you're going to probably see some good production out of him. Jordan is Jordan. I don't know, man. It's hard for me to move him. And I think it's a very smooth transition from Dusty Baker to Joe Espada. I've been a Joe Espada guy for a few years now. I think he's seen some things. I think he's going to be a good manager.
Was he on the bench in New York? Is that what it was?
He's on the bench in New York, and he's been on the bench. Well, he was on the bench in Houston for a few years as well. Yeah. But like, who better to have the torch passed to you than Dusty Baker? So,
absolutely. Ryan, did we get your 2 and 1?
You did not. You did not yet. I am. how am I feeling? I want to go against the Astros. I do. Really do.
As do I.
Really want the Mariners to win it this year in that case. But I just can't. I think you made a great point. I think that their pitching deserves a lot more credit. Their back end of the bullpen specifically is going to be tough. And their lineup is just sneaky good. And if you're talking about guys on their team, you brought up Alvarez. I mean, Kyle Tucker as well. Like Pena didn't play as well as he did on their World Series run, but still all very talented players. And for all those reasons, I think the Astros once again find a way to win that division and keep that window open, and just cannot sleep on Houston.
I'm just tired of saying that. I agree. I'm just tired of saying that. So I'm just going to keep rolling the dice each year. And one of these years, this blind squirrel is going to find a nut. I just don't know what year it's going to be. I'm hoping it's this year. And I have the Rangers as the reigning World Series champions to at least back me up ever so slightly. So
it's cute.
I feel okay.
DeGrom back in August, yeah. And I don't know what Scherzer is anymore. I don't really know.
But what do we realistically think we're getting out of Verlander though?
A beast.
Yeah, I agree. Like he's like the Tom Brady of our sport. He really is.
Yeah, nah.
He's gonna bring it when the moment matters.
I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying, like, realistically, I mean, are we going to see a decline in innings? Are we going to see a decline, a fall off in strikeouts? Like, something's going to have to start giving here.
Something. Load management will be there. I think it'll be fine.
Like, is he going to give you the same? Is he going to give you similar innings, but he's going to have to adjust to be more of a?
Look at the rest of the rotation. Framber's a 1 on most staffs.
I would agree. Christian Javier, though. Christian Javier is not.
He's got really good stuff, though.
Not a shoe-in.
You just don't know what you're going to get with Javier. But I love Javier's upside. I've been a big fan of his stuff. It's just which Javier are you going to get? It's the tale of two Javiers on that. But when he's on, he can be just completely dominant for that team. And then Verlander, thing is, if he's healthy going into the postseason and they're in the postseason, give Verlander the ball.
I think Hunter Brown probably comes onto the scene pretty strong this year.
That's also the other one. Forgot to mention.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Boom, baby.
Let's blow through the Central here. This sucks.
Do I switch? No, I got to stick.
No, stick with it. You're fine.
I got to stick Raiders. Yeah, let's blow through Central here. I got White Sox 5. Are we in agreement there?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Oh,
he's got Tigers 5.
Oh gosh,
he doesn't even have Tigers 5. Who do you have 5?
No, so I had it mixed with it.
He went Guardians 5.
No, you didn't.
No, I did not. I'm still, as much as I want to see some better progression, I'm going to take Royals 5.
You've got to be kidding me.
Come on.
This is where the optimism was going to kick into play, Ryan. It had been on pause for a few minutes here, but this is where it was really going to ramp back up.
Okay, Royals are 5. White Sox for me are 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. As long as you have the White Sox.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to Gavin and the guys on the Sox. Couldn't do.
So 5. We're making picks to appease our buddies, are we? Are we?
No,
going
because
with our gut?
I want them to ball out. And honestly, I still, even as bad as things have gone for the White Sox, they still can actually do something in the division. They still could. That's how wide open this is. Enough of complaining about my picks. What are your picks for 4?
Hold on. We need to revisit this White Sox thing. You said they're still capable of doing something in the division. With who?
So this is the thing that I like. This is like one of those things you just can't explain or really go out there.
No logic.
Hey, it's a gut thing. I respect it. I do that all the time.
I still go back to it. Everyone expected the White Sox to win that division last year. They expected to win it the year before, and they just fell flat on their face. So the expectations are down. I'm not saying the expectations are high for the team, because I do think that there is some disconnection overall with the team, and they have a new front office coming in, all of these things. But of the two teams, like, it's, again, the Royals still hasn't proved to me. Okay, great. You went out and signed some guys. You still haven't proved to me, besides Bobby Witt Jr. going out there and just mashing balls. Stud, by the way. Absolute stud.
Friend
One of
of
my
the
favorite
pod.
players to watch. Great player. Love what he's doing. I'm just not sold on everything else yet with Kansas City. Buying free agents isn't going to necessarily do it. The White Sox, something crazy could happen. That's what I'm thinking. Something crazy could happen, because I think this AL Central is probably going to be the ugliest, craziest division of them all.
Ugh.
It always is. It always is.
Trash.
I can't.
Ready for
I'm
a
not
realignment.
I'm not gonna wait to share where I have the Royals. I'm just gonna jump right to it. I've got the Royals at 2. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid
Whoa.
by the gallon.
Wow.
Oh,
I just
Wow.
wanted to, this is the hot takes and predictions episode. This was one of the hot takes that I sprinkled in. I didn't have a whole lot around the league, but maybe
That's spicy.
having the Pirates at 3 is considered a hot take, but
Equally spicy.
I'm putting the Royals at 2.
Wow. I got White Sox at 5. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't see what
all
that
right,
is.
why don't this? Because we're jumping all over the place.
I
Give
know.
me
Kyle's
5-1. So you got 5. Who's 4, 3, 2?
All right, I got
Go.
White Sox, Tigers, White Sox 5, Tigers 4, Guardians 3, Royals 2, Twins 1.
I'm fairly close. White Sox 5, Tigers 4, Royals 3. I can appreciate what they've been doing. I can appreciate the effort. Renovations to the stadium, new manager, new vibes, good barbecue. I got them at 3.
They're getting a new stadium. Are they renovating the current one too?
I thought they were renovating.
Maybe they are. I just know they're moving like downtown or something.
Whatever. Guardians 2. What are you doing? Go get pieces in your lineup. The Guardians frustrate me so much. Like, you do have a decent rotation.
So naturally you put them above the team that you credit for making moves.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, what, Hunter Renfroe is going to push the Royals up to the 2nd spot? Get out of here.
Hey, don't sleep on Hunter Renfroe.
Don't.
Guardians at
No.
2, Twins at 1. It's the Twins division.
To your point, I'm with you in that I'll say that I can appreciate what they've done. For me, this was more of like a fun pick where I don't think on paper that they're a number 2 in the division kind of team. This was just one of those ones where I thought, let's kind of roll the dice here. Maybe they hit their stride at the right time and they figure out a way to finish second in, need we say again, a garbage division.
Is Pasquantino back? Dude bangs. Is he back like start of the season?
I was just reading this the other day. Is he? Was he at least swinging a bat?
Because if that's 2-3, you got Bobby Pasquantino, you could do a lot worse.
Yeah,
I like that.
He's back.
So so to wrap it up, White Sox are 5. Your 4 was Tigers,
Yeah.
3 Royals, 2
Yeah.
Guardians, 1 Twins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guardians, I mean, the rotation's still good enough to keep them in there.
Here we go.
stupid
Hey, a new manager this year.
Mm-hmm.
No Terry Francona anymore. Stephen Vogt, right, is the manager.
I like that.
Spelled that
man.
right or pronounced it right.
Yep.
All right, so I'll be quick with it. Royals, White Sox, Tigers 3, Guardians 2. I think the Twins are still the best team in that division. I think it's still wide open, but I still think that they have the talent. I think that they're being slept on.
Better
And
roster.
Although it's a wide open division, I would still be shocked if they don't win this division. I think that they really should. And if you're a Twins fan, you're going to be really disappointed if you find a way to to not lock it up. I think the Twins could. Hey, maybe it's the Twins' year. Maybe it's the Twins' year. How about that? Close the book on the AL Central.
I'll close the book with this. Every year in and year out, I'm in on the Twins until the calendar flips to October, and I could not be further out.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to keep an open mind this year, Ryan, thanks to your, again, stern talking to.
Uh-oh.
I'm not. I still have them winning the division, and I'm not putting them in the World Series. I'm just saying I agree with Ryan. Maybe it's the Twins year. I'm just going to have an open mind about it. Look, I've been negative about some of these teams for far too long. I need to switch gears. Last year it was the Angels for me. I finally opened my hands and I said, Angels, do what you will. And they couldn't have disappointed me more. But still,
they did what they would.
I gave them a shot. Saying,
They are who we thought they were.
I could at least go to bed at night knowing that I gave them a shot. All right, AL East.
Here it is, boys. Let's agree on 5. Sox at 5, yeah.
Clean sweep.
Yep.
You thought you were doing something there, didn't you, Nate? You thought you were gonna trip me up. No, I'm with you. Sox at 5.
I think we're just being realistic here. This is the division we all know. We're all but I do think I'm going to shake things up more so than you guys.
I don't know. I think you and I might have the same picks.
all done.
We all might have the same picks.
I'm all done.
Yep.
I'm all done. You
say it.
You have no pitching. I don't care what your freaking calculator says. The Rays are finishing 4th.
No. I'm
not there. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I understand you're just the regular season warriors that you are. I'm not there. I can't. I'm sorry. If Zach Eflin is running your staff, that's a number 3 guy on any other rotation, probably a 4. I'm sorry. I'm not there. Give me Rays at 4.
I'm going Sox 5, Blue Jays at 4.
Oh.
We've been waiting for this movie that we were promised. We haven't seen it.
Sold out of popcorn at this point, man.
We sold out of popcorn.
The lights came on. I'm just sitting here.
I still have a little bit of love for the Blue Jays later to come, so I'm not like completely throwing them in the trash, but in terms of standings, I got Blue Jays at 4. And to your point, Nate, about the Rays, I'm all done. That's what I say every year. But then
I know. I think a lot of us say that. Yeah.
They find a way to produce 90+ wins every single year, and it doesn't make sense. They don't do anything with it, but the end of the year, you can almost guarantee that they're going to have 90+ wins. And I'm just similar to like the Astros conversation. I'm just tired of fighting it. I'm giving in to the whatever movement they have going on down there, analytical or otherwise. And I'm finally I'm saying I'm done. Take your top 3 perennial finish I'm done.
Right guy, hit me with 4.
All right. I go back and forth, but I believe in everything the Rays do, but I am leaning more towards 4, and it's mainly because of their starting pitching. Not having McClanahan is going to hurt. Glasnow hurts. Still think they're a great team. But I think if it's the one year that they're not going to push forward, I think it's going to be this year, just given everything. And then the Wander Franco situation on top of it. I think they could very well surprise, but I'm going to put them at 4.
Yeah. Smart man.
So
what do you got for 3, right guy?
Yeah, who do you got at 3?
I'm going to take Toronto. Toronto's going to be at 3 for me. That could change depending on there's certain things that could happen that could change my mind, but I'm going to put them at 3. I think there's going to be some bounce backs. And I still do think they're a solid team. I'm just not sold on Toronto as a whole right now. What about you guys?
I'm with you. I think you and I probably have a carbon copy order here. Blue Jays at 3.
Just finish it out. Finish it out. What do you got for the rest?
Blue Jays, I just real quick. I mean, good rotation. I just question marks with the lineup. If Vladdy doesn't go, they don't go. Not a whole lot of lefty presence. I don't think George Springer ever plays over 120 games again. There's just, I don't know, man. I think Vladdy is Vladdy, Bo is Bo, but this is, the movie never happened. I'm going to go ahead and just roll credits here. I got Yanks at 2.
That's a quote card.
Yeah. Oh. I got Yanks at 2. Even with the Cole, we just got Cole news today. It's not TJ's, no tear. It's only 1 to 2 months, according to rumors. The rotation already had question marks, even with a healthy Cole. They're going to bang. They're going to play pretty good defense. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. And they're really at the ceiling cap wise. Howe doesn't seem to want to spend money. I don't see really a ton of trade suitors. They kind of wiped out their pitching depth. This is all just not good. I think there's going to be a very large gap between the Orioles winning this division and the Yankees in second place. I'm going to say at least 7-8 game gap when it's all said and done. The Orioles are, Ryan, you can take it from here. The Orioles are just, complete. They're very complete and young. And when you add a team that didn't lose much as far as offseason goes, and a team that, got a taste of postseason, now when they go into this next postseason, you will see a team that has a little bit more experience. So, I think they're going to run away with this division, to be honest.
Take a good look. Take a good look at my friend here.
The king of the AL East.
I honestly, we would even think that the Yankees, for me, could drop to 4 if things were to happen with Garrett Cole and whatever with Carlos Rodon. I think that Rodon is a key to what happens, but it is true. And I say the same thing. The only thing that I worry about with the Orioles is a little bit of the injuries, at least with Means and Bradish. Bradish more. I'm not going to hold my breath that he'll be back. I know they're saying he's throwing off a mound. I love Brad. I think he's one of my former teammates, but I want him to be healthy, and you got to think about the long term. But everything else, the team's too deep. Their lineup's too deep. Their prospects are too deep. I don't see a way that the Orioles don't. I think Toronto could jump to 2 if the New York just falters, but it's about the birds this year, and I do think that the players that played well last year are some of the ones that people aren't talking about, like Jordan Westberg, who just got his taste in the big leagues. I think you're to see guys like him, a healthier Cedric Mullins. And by the way, Austin Hayes and Anthony Santander, it's just this team to me is too deep, 1 to 9, which you would ask me this 2 years ago, wouldn't be thinking this way. But, I'm sounding confident. The guys being down there in spring training, tell you what, they believe no matter what. They truly believe in the next man up mentality. They're down guys. They go, we'll be okay. We're going to be just fine because they trust it and they are locked in. And especially that playoff loss last year, they're going to be fueled by that to get back and get further in 2024.
Carl, I'll let you finish this in your order in a sec. What you said is that if anything happens, they have pieces to be able to fill holes. If anything happens, if you don't get what you want out of their rotation, you have the farm to be able to move guys. You could argue that there is a little bit of a logjam in certain positions. You can make moves to fill holes and figure things out. If there's ever like this point of discomfort during the regular season before the deadline, they can make things happen. And a lot of cap flexibility. Like it's never been a more perfect scenario in Baltimore in my mind.
True.
Rounding us out here, if it kind of wasn't clear already, I've got Rays 3, Yankees 2, Orioles 1. Ryan, I wanted to ask you, how many games do you think, as Nate kind of alluded to, by the end of the season, what do you think that spread looks like?
I think it could be closer. I do. I think it could be closer, and it really just depends on the health of the pitching staffs. and for the Orioles, if they get banged up a little bit, I think that could cause some issues. But if a team like the Yankees and Cole and Rodon, that rotation can't, hold up without him, I think that then it can grow. I think Toronto could sneaky be good. I'm just not sold on Toronto. That's why I think that the Orioles wrap it up, at least win it by 5, and are feeling hopefully O's fans are feeling very good going into the playoffs.
I like it. Let's transition here. We can roll through these wild card seeds, and then we'll get to the pennant winners and World Series winner. AL wild card seeds going from 4 to 6, the 4th, 5th, and 6th seeds. I've got the Yankees, the Astros. You ready for this one? Any guesses?
I can't remember where you put the M's.
It's not the M's. Wrong division.
Really? The Royals.
Sneaking in with the last wild card spot, the Kansas City Royals.
Insane.
Bookmark this. We'll come back to this. You just wait.
I got to listen to this all year.
Just wait. You better believe it. And then, I'll just run through the National League real quick. National League, the first wild card spot, I got the Phillies. Second, I got the D-backs. And then third, I got the Cardinals. What do y'all got?
AL top wild card spot, Rangers, then Yankees, then Blue Jays. And I know you touched on this earlier before, Kyle, of like where you had where we labored the most as far as like divisional rankings go. The AL East 2 through 4 was my biggest thing. I said a big gap between Orioles and everyone else. I think it's like a 1 or 2 game situation between those 3 teams in the middle. But yeah, I've got Blue Jays rounding out, sneaking in. Rotation's just really, really good. NL, I got Phillies at the top spot, Diamondbacks, Cubs, so not too different from you.
Oh, so you want me to start in the National League, American League?
Let's go American League.
Okay, so Orioles. Teams winning, Orioles, Twins, obviously, and I said the Astros, right? So these 4 teams. I think 2 are coming out of the AL West. Sorry, 3 total. Got the Mariners and the Rangers. They're not being bounced. They're going to be in it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
So then I have 5 spots there, so I need the 2 more.
Yeah, one more. One more AL.
One more AL. So it's 3. Oh, it's 6.
Yeah, you had the Mariners and the Rangers.
So that's 3. So 5. Oh, okay. And finally, the Yanks hold in there. However, they are holding on by thin ice, but I do think the Judge Soto combo is going to keep them afloat to sneak them and keep them in all of it. But I think that I'm not feeling as good about the Yankees as I did before everything with Garrett Cole, but I think that they sneak in.
Fair.
And the NL, I think we're going to see the Braves. We're going to see the Phillies. No doubt about it. That's definitely that's set in stone. You have the division winners. So I have 2 spots left correctly. If I'm going Braves, Phillies, I chose the Reds to win and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I think the D-backs, they're going to sneak their way in, and then one more from there. Or that's it. Yeah, one more from there. My counting's so off right now. Give me the Cubs. Give me Craig Counsell and the Cubs to find a way to get in there finally.
I like that.
There it is. A little bit even proportioned throughout the National League.
I think initially, in both AL and NL, I've got a representative for the wild card spots from each division.
Good for you. I do not.
Shout out Royals, making the dream come true. Pennant winners. Give me your World Series matchup and in how many games?
World Series matchup?
Get yours out of the way. Just get it out of the way.
The Birds. The Birds versus the Dodgers.
Oh,
Birds versus the
okay.
Dodgers.
I got the same. I've got the same. Look at that.
That's cute.
I think we have a different winner, though.
That's cute.
We'll see.
That's real cute. But you're a fool if you think the Dodgers are going to run the table and make it to the World Series this year. That's not how baseball works. I expected better from the both of you than to put the Dodgers in the World Series. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm ashamed. I expected so much better. I didn't think we were going to have this conversation, but here we are. The World Series matchup for 2024. Go ahead and put it in stone. Orioles, and for the first time, I'm actually putting them in proactively and not retroactively once we revisit in October. The O's and the Fightin' Phils.
Oh, I like that. I like that matchup.
That's what we were rooting for last year.
That's what we were rooting for last year. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it out. We're talking about speaking things into existence. I'm gonna get it out of the way before the season even starts.
Who's your winner and in how many games, KC?
I'm feeling really idealistic right now. I think I'm envisioning an instant classic, Phillies in 7.
Oh,
just everything we could have hoped for and more. And assumed in this projection, we can assume that I once again have the Phillies owning the Atlanta Braves in the postseason en route to a World Series appearance.
So you have them coming out of the wild card, right?
Again.
You didn't have the Phils taking the division.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Right, guy, what you got, dog? Who's winning it?
We're speaking it into existence. I don't care if it's biased.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Baltimore. They slay Goliath in 4. Just kidding, not in 4. The Orioles, though, win the World Series in 6.
No way, dude. Good for
O's
you.
in 6. Hey, then we're talking about positivity here. And I can't go against my guys here. I don't care if the odds are stacked against them. I don't care who's hurt. Get them to the playoffs, and Gunnar Henderson is going to have his moments. If Gunnar got to the ALCS, Gunnar was going to win World Series MVP last year. That dude is made for the playoffs. He's made for the big moments. I expect a lot more of that. I think that the Orioles get to the World Series. They win their first World Series since 1983 in 6.
Ryan Ripken for mayor. Let's go.
Ryan Ripken for mayor.
I got Dodgers in 6. Sorry, right guy. Just too dang deep,
dude.
man. Too deep. And we've said that in years past, but this is just different. The Dodgers just have a veteran presence. They have a youth presence. They have depth. They have pitching. They have Kershaw and Buehler coming back probably at the right time, but they're still able to do moves when they need to make moves. It's insane how they just pop guys up out of their farm that fill in holes when they need it.
They have an embarrassment of riches in the
They
when
really
it comes
do.
to the rotation. But
They really do.
that's just no. That's not happening. That's not how baseball works. I'll say it again. I expected better from you, but it's all right. We
Stretch it out, boys. Get loose. It's time to get hot.
It's time to get
It's
hot
time to
here.
get hot. We're getting hot. The division stuff ain't the spicy. Now we're getting spicy.
Speaking of spicy, let's go part 2 of these listener hot takes. We'll
There we
revisit
go.
some takes, and then we'll get into the awards. For the sake of time, I'll move through these pretty quick. Derek says Mitch Keller wins the NL Cy Young. I really like that. I like that as a bold take.
As a Pirates guy, yeah.
Strong Pirates guy. Yeah. Luke says Tariq Skubal wins the AL Cy Young.
Okay.
That's digging deep. I like that.
Okay.
Thomas said, this I think best summarizes the Yankees' potential outcomes here for the 2024 season. Thomas says the Yankees go 102-60, or they go 60 on 102. He's not wrong.
That's a little dramatic.
He's not wrong. Because if we're following the trajectory of being, what was it, 14 out by the All-Star break and Boone being canned, that you're looking at 60 and 102.
It's pretty crazy.
Give or take.
Give or take. Austin says Phillies beat the Braves in the playoffs for a third straight year, and I get sad again.
He might.
At least he acknowledges
it.
At least he knows. He knows what's going to happen. Yeah. It's the inevitable. Tyler says Wyatt Langford, 35 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and the Rookie of the Year. Danny says injuries will plague the Yankees and they won't do anything about their training or medical staff. Nate, you've been preaching about their medical staff for I don't even remember how long.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I got to give you credit. Something has to be done there. I don't understand.
Just change something.
Clean house.
Stretch. Get a yoga instructor in there. I don't know what needs to be done. Things need to change there.
Tip for the Yankees, stretch. Let's just start there.
Stretch.
Let's start there. Ryan says Dodgers signings backfire and they have almost the same end result as last year.
Oh.
That's kind of where my head's at with this Dodgers team, just because it's
too good to be true.
I mean, exactly. How often does it really happen that way? I don't know. We'll see. Finn says Harper has another MVP season this year and solidifies himself as a top 5 position player and surefire Hall of Famer.
Sure.
We'll see where my head's at with Harper and the MVP once we get to our awards picks.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. Lucas says Anthony Rendon. This is a hot take. Lucas says Anthony Rendon plays at least 70 games.
Oh.
Let's not get carried away,
is hot.
Lucas.
and
Let's be reasonable
wins
here.
the MVP.
And wins the MVP.
72 games played.
Can you imagine what that output would look like over 70 games to win the MVP? That's like Shohei level.
Yeah.
That's wild. Nick says A's deal in Vegas falls apart. Fisher sells the team.
I don't think that's that hot.
You think it could fall apart?
It's on wafer thin ice as is.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about? The Vegas, who was it? The mayor doesn't even want you there. So what are we really doing here?
The city doesn't even want you.
What are we doing? Rick says Jackson Holiday hits 25 homers and wins Rookie of the Year. Ryan, that's music to your ears.
Yeah.
Oh, a little hint to something. Alex said 2 more here. Alex says the Orioles are going to have a top 3 finisher in the Rookie of the Year, MVP, and Cy Young races, and one will be a winner.
Wow. That's cleaning up.
I mean, if you got to think, if they're a 100-win plus ball club, there's a good likelihood that could be the case. You're going to have they have dudes, but he's only saying one of them has to be a winner. So I could very much get on board with that take.
I don't hate it.
Just saying. And lastly here, Zygor says Expos win the Stanley Cup. Michael Jordan wins the MVP.
Nailed it.
Spot on.
I think I had that. I should probably correct.
Yeah, I probably should take that off my list too.
Yeah. Dang.
He stole that one from me.
Tough.
All right. Stretch it out, boys.
Right, guy. Let's get spicy. Where's your tequila, bud?
Are we allowed to share that on the
Cheers.
program?
Give me a little cheers. There you go. Wake you up a little bit. Cheers, Kyle.
There's my water bottle.
I gotta check. Gotta check and find. I dropped my bird.
Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for the 2024 season.
Oh, I'm back.
Fumbled the bag. All right, wake you up a little bit. Get it going.
All right, let's focus up here.
Here's where we get spicy.
This is where it gets spicy. All right, so Nate, I'll let you lead us off here. Give the folks at home a little update as to the slight modifications we've made with our award predictions for players.
We're going for ours. Is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah.
All right. We got some fun awards. We're gonna get the fun awards going here. Get you a little creative, okay? So if you listeners maybe wanna write down a name when you hear these, because these are different. All right. First award, the Still Got It Award. Player in the league has to be 35 or older. Right now, before opening day, 35 or older. That is going to have the best year. There's a decent list of names. I'm just going to say that now. Decent list. You want to run through answers, or you want to go through the rest of the awards? What do you want to do?
Run through the just give a little bit of a descriptor on each award that we came up with, and then we'll run through our picks.
I think Ryan's gotten lower as this episode has gone through.
Sit up.
Pep up. There it is.
There we go. A little more.
I've got the...
A little more. There we go.
There you go. There it is. I've got the Bringing Up the Rear Award. This is an X Factor...
Player with the biggest donk.
Oh, yeah. 4 or 5 starter in a rotation. Somebody that's gonna be necessary for a big run.
It's a good list, too. We talked about this before we hopped on.
Oh, yeah.
It's a surprisingly good list.
Surprisingly good.
I'm
Surprisingly
excited.
good. This one's fun. This is 3-0 specific. Feel free to partake. The Hey, That's Me Award. Got to pick a guy that's the same size as you, height and weight, that you feel like is going to have the best year. My favorite probably would be the Tinfoil Hat Award. A player that is involved in a conspiracy, if you will.
Likely to be swept up in a conspiracy at some point through the
during the season. A little twist of the mustache. And then the last one being There's No Way We Saw That Coming Award. Much like these flash in the pans that we get in a weak performance, a la Matt Carpenter with the Yankees, something like that.
Or over the course of a season, if they can string together enough of
something you can do, just
resume.
Something unexpected, something we just didn't see coming. You could argue is probably the hottest of the hot.
Could be good or bad too, by the way.
Could be big, yeah.
That last one.
Yeah.
All right, let's move through these here relatively quickly.
Let's ride.
Nate,
the Still Got It Award. 35 or older, give me Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt, born on September 10th of 1986. Down year last year. I still think he's got it. A professional hitter through and through. Just trust that.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. A down year, but still a year you'd probably like in your lineup for any other team.
You would still take that.
Yeah. I got Goldie as well. I would have gone Kershaw because I'm still a Kershaw believer, but with the timetable, I obviously couldn't take that route. But I got Goldie as well.
All right, I'm going to go way outside the box here, fellas.
Ooh.
Way outside. And maybe just not talked about. Maybe just because I think he's going to shock a lot of people. He's back again this year. Probably don't know him. I'm going to say Charlie Morton at 40.
Ooh.
At 40.
Uncle Charlie.
Wow.
Last year, and just to give you guys some context, actually, he had a 3.64 ERA for Charlie Morton. I'm not saying it's going to be anything
that's
crazy, and he only gave 14 games, but he's still a guy. We're in this new age where it's just he's staying around. And yes, I could have saved that for something else for a fourth man, but I know Goldie was an obvious one. He's an obvious choice. Verlander, obviously,
I was going to say Verlander's out there too.
Choice.
Yeah.
I wanted to just point out that there's a guy named Charlie Morton here that's staying around, still around, and the Braves thought highly enough of him to bring him back. I believe it was on a $20 million club option, or $15 to $20 million. I believe he's still got something left in the tank here, fellas.
That's a true ball player's pick right there, Ryan. I got to respect that. I feel like Nate and I took it. In fact, we borderline cheated on this pick. I mean, he's 36. You're going with the 40-year-old, so credit to you.
Yep.
Bringing up the rear, boy, was there a nice list for this one.
A long list, yeah.
I am taking Nate, your boy, your favorite from last October, Brandon Pfaadt.
P-Fat, my man.
Brandon P-Fat.
He was on my list. Not the one I chose.
I am excited to watch this dude deal this year. And I think he's going to be an excellent back-end guy that could very realistically see himself move up to even a third slot in the rotation if injuries were to arise or what have you. So looking forward to watching him play.
I like that. Give me Dane Dunning of the Texas Rangers. Just very under the radar. I don't think people understand how good this kid is.
Great choice.
I want to say he made 30 plus starts last year and just did his thing in the postseason. So yeah, give me Dane Dunning. Very, very high ranking in MLB percentages. If you're a baseball savant guy, look up Dane Dunning. That would really surprise you.
Dane Dunning is actually my former roommate. When he got drafted, we were in Auburn, short season together, the double days. So Dane, good kid. Hope the best. I think he obviously
stamp.
I'm right there. Stamp of approval. Dane, good kid. Yep. I'll stay home with this one because I think that his name was kind of dragged through and it was a rough year overall for him. And because of the injuries to Baltimore, give me Cole Irvin for Baltimore is probably going to be slotted in to be the 5. His velocity's up to around 95 miles an hour after sitting at 91, 92. Now, granted, you can argue that Tyler Wells or Dean Kramer could be one of those guys. But for Cole Irvin, this is kind of I'm not going to say it's a make or break year by any chance, but I think people forgot how consistent he was in Oakland. And then all of a sudden he was just out of the equation very quickly and then just trying to find a way to stay in. And he had a great mentality the whole rest of the year, but I think he took it to heart. He kept working, put his best foot forward, and everything I saw, everything I heard, everything that just all the vibes were that Cole Irvin, if he's given the chance to be that 5th starter, which it seems like he very well can be, I think Cole Irvin's going to have a phenomenal year. And we're going to see more of that Oakland Cole Irvin that just eats up innings and gives you consistent production.
Brian Ripken for mayor.
Love it. Just throwing out some of the names I had on my list, the rest of my list, Chris Sale, Hunter Brown, Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, James Paxton, all names that I think, given a fair shot at a healthy season, could do.
I had Brian Wu as well. I had Chris Sale as well. I did reach out to some of our listeners, Braves fans specifically, because I wasn't sure where Chris Sale slotted. And a lot of them are saying he's slotting in the 3. So that's the only reason I didn't go for him.
I pulled up projected rotations, and he was slotted at 4, which is the only reason I had him on the list. I didn't pick him, obviously, but I just threw him on the list. The Hey, That's Me award. Ryan, let's just get yours out of the way, because with your build, your selection was far greater than either of ours. So just go on ahead and tell me who you're going with. Give us your dimensions and who you're going with.
All right, so I'm about 6'4", 6'5", depending on if I stand up straight, around 215, which is very similar. Very, very similar to the Phillies. Third baseman, Alec Boehm. And Boehm actually, if I remember this correctly, because I do, I was there. I remember him launching this ball in Double-A against us. I was on Bowie. He was on Reading at the time, Double-A, the Phillies. Just a really smooth swing, effortless, the ability to really drive the baseball. And last year, I get it. Some people might think, well, this lineup, were they expecting him to make more of a quote unquote jump? But still, at 26 years old, guys, still had 20 jacks, 97 RBIs. I think we're going to see even better Alec Boehm in 2024.
It's a great pick.
I'll go ahead and take this one. I'm about
Can we just hold off on the judgment here?
Yeah,
I just want to Rye Guy is all tall and lean and running for office and everything, but you and I, we're just not working with the same amount of things. So I just want to withhold judgment for everybody, okay?
Still fresh. I mean, you could still consider him fresh off of a baseball career. So I mean, I know it's getting to be a little ways out there.
Longer.
Correct. Yeah. But for all intents and purposes, still very recent. So let's just be fair here. I'm working with about 6 foot, 220, 215 on a good day. But I'm gonna be conservative. I'll go 220. I'll be honest, I'm not working with much. The names that I found across the league, Erasmo Ramirez, I think it's Angel Zerpa, Angel Zerpa, and Cal Mitchell. Mm-hmm. Cal Mitchell, a little bit of an upside from what I can tell with the Padres. So I guess maybe by default, I got to go with him. I don't even know what his ETA is. But the other two, I believe, are relievers in the Rays, and I think Zerpa's with the Royals. So take your pick. I'm going to go Cal Mitchell for the upside, but just goes to show you, we're talking about a couple relievers going up against Alec Boehm. So you take your pick.
You're a good kid.
Well,
thanks.
You're wrong, sir. We're pretty similar sized. 6 foot. I did hop on the scale today just to make sure accuracy is there. I was at 217.6, but I had pasta for dinner. So round me up to Jesus Luzardo at 6 foot 218. Gonna have a year.
Fantastic. And that's how you play the game there, Kyle. You see that? Eat a little bit more. Right. So you're set.
You could have had pasta.
Can we have like little honesty talk here? When I checked the scale last night when I was compiling my notes, it did say 224, but I was judging myself and I said I'm not gonna do that. And in fact, there's probably not any 6 foot after 224 players in the league.
You just gotta throw that hand up accountability, baby. That's it.
I'm gonna go 220 because that's you wake up in the morning, you don't have that water weight.
That's fair.
I'm going 220 and I'm sticking with my garbage picks. All right, moving along here for the sake of time, which by the way, did you know that live streams could time out because our live streams timed out? We're so deep into this thing. So
love that.
Shout out to the platforms for stretching it out as long as they could. Tin Foil Hat Award, the player most likely, we believe, to get swept up in a conspiracy this year. I went kind of lazy, but I think it's the correct answer. Well. I think it's the only answers really. I'm going co-answers here. I'm going Anthony Rendon and Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso quite literally has already been swept up in a conspiracy in his career when he was the mouthpiece for the Juice Baseballs movement back a couple of years back. So
fair enough.
So
Tinfoil Hat Award. Give me Trevor Bauer officially suing Major League Baseball.
Oh,
wow.
That may be a little bit of a cop-out answer, but let's be real. The man has been let go of charges. He has been proven innocent, and he's touching 97 pretty often. Still not getting an opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and say he sues Major League Baseball.
See, I was going to have the other side of that where like I was similar with Trevor Bauer, but it wasn't with suing. That there was just possibly not saying another allegation, but that something else was going to pop up with Trevor that was going to sit there and go, this is the reason why they decided to not take another chance. I'm not going to go there and say
I like
what
that.
It was going to be because I want to
Sure.
just be fair to that.
This is a family show.
Family show. And I'm not going to say there was anything that he was recently charged on, but like, could you imagine if for some reason he was on like a PED or something popped out and all of a sudden the team did try to sign him? There's just the story. Let's just put it this way. The story of Trevor Bauer in 2024 has not yet been written. You can take that for whatever you want, but I think that's not going to be a story that teams necessarily want to get involved with this year.
Excellent.
And lastly, there's no way we saw that coming award. Nate, give me some credit here. I'm turning a page here. I'm going Luis Severino.
Oh,
I think we're gonna have a little bit of a bounce back year from old Sevy. He's out of the Bronx now. I mean, not too far down the road, but out of the Bronx. He's coming off a 6.65 ERA year last year. He had a 65 ERA plus. So I think we can acknowledge it. Not his best stuff, but wouldn't take much for a bounce back here. And I don't even think it's going to be average. I think he'll give you a good campaign this year.
hit me, Rye Guy. What you got?
I'm curious. Do you have a position player in mind or pitcher?
I don't know. What do you got?
I think the storytell took a while for him to get signed, but Joey Votto.
Oh, there it is.
That's a great pick.
Waits all this time, gets on the roster with the Blue Jays, and just starts raking. And I mean like that Matt Carpenter, where the hell did this come from on the Yankees type of raking? And he's just going to be like, I told you I could still play. I told you I could still hit. You should have, all you teams had a chance. I just feel he's going home. Joey Votto pulls that. That's I'm pulling that. Why didn't have the
There it is.
Joey Votto is going to do some things for the Toronto Blue Jays to remind you that he still is Joey Votto.
I love that. What a timely pick.
I'm impressed.
What a timely pick. That's a true ball player right there.
I took these seriously. Okay.
Tip of the cap. Hey, yeah, credit to you, man. You didn't hit us with like you didn't hit us with a text yesterday being like, dude, I don't know any of these. You were radio silent,
Paul
and then you show
Goldschmidt.
up with some of these.
Come on, guys.
I know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's understandable.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's fair to assume that Paulie's going to have the best season
He
of a 35
might be
plus.
an MVP again. He could.
That's what I'm saying. But I respect you thinking outside the box a little bit. I respect it. All right, let's get into these.
If that's the box, let me get really outside the box. I'll just get it out of the way right now. Aaron Boone's going to get tossed from 3 consecutive games and have himself one hell of a week. So there you go.
3 consecutive games.
3 consecutive games he will get tossed out of. This is going to be a frustrating year for the Pinstripes, I think.
I mean, they'd probably switch up the crew after the second game, no? Maybe fly in a new group of guys to maybe
my mind, I'm seeing the same umpire at different spots throughout the series.
Just following him
and he's
around
going
the
after
diamond.
him.
I like it.
Gone.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, let's run through these real awards here real quick. Let's start with the Rookie of the Year. We got to get Ryan home, man. Ryan's got to
Yeah, right, guy's falling asleep. Here we go.
Well, no, not yet. Kind of.
Well, we already know his answer. Go ahead and just say
What do you want
it.
me to say?
You're AL Rookie of the Year. Get it out of the way.
If he starts in the big leagues, this is a big caveat. If he starts in the big leagues, it's going to be Jackson Holiday. But he has to start in the big leagues. If he doesn't,
does he need to start
in the big leagues? Yes, I think I do think I think if he's not up in a month, I think it's too much time because another guy that I think if it's not Jackson, Evan Carter. I loved watching what he did.
Great pick.
That's my pick.
So, but
fair.
Jackson Holiday wins the award if he starts in Baltimore in 2024.
Will he change the number? 87 just can't be the
they'll
move
give him
going
whatever
forward.
he wants.
Have you heard
even have
any? Okay. Whoa now. All right.
Just kidding.
Have you heard any whispers about what a number he's possibly eyeing?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's one.
I would have assumed that would have been taken,
Gunner's
but I guess
two.
not.
So
Yeah.
True. Oh,
you know what? And
like
when
that.
Gunner
Give me
came up,
Jackson.
if
Nice.
you noticed, hey Gunner, here, whatever number you want, Gunner just got it. Adley just
That's
got
nice.
it. Jackson's just going to
That's
get
nice.
whatever he wants when he comes up there.
As he should.
We'll talk
There's
about
a
giving him
baller.
number 8. I'm sure people wouldn't mind. I'm sure Calvin wouldn't
Yeah,
mind.
I'm sure that'd go over real
He
well in
wouldn't mind.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Nate, who you got?
Well, you got Evan Carter. I'm going not too far in the lineup. Give me Wyatt Langford for Rookie of the
Stud.
Year. My man has got absolute crazy pop.
I believe I saw he hit a grand slam tonight. So
Yeah.
good
That's what he does.
vibes there.
He's hitting his way onto this opening day roster.
I love it. National League Rookie of the Year. Can I be honest? This is like the least confident pick that I'm
Okay.
making. And it's lazy, but I've
Mine's
really,
a little lazy.
I've really wrestled with this one, and I could see this being a flop. I could see it being a flop. I'm going Yamamoto, but I don't
Ooh.
I don't feel good about it. I really don't. I could very
It's been a
easily-
weird spring.
That's what I'm saying. Like, again, let's revisit.
We don't ring it. We don't read into springs too
exactly,
much.
but it's not the start that I think you're hoping for if you're a Dodgers fan.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Especially slotting in at the 2 in the rotation. I
I'm
hear
not
what
trying
you're
to
saying.
not trying to give myself a cop out, but I'm giving myself a cop like a way out the back door.
All right. Well, mine's less of a cop out, but it's still a little bit of a cop out. Give me Jung-Hoo Lee with the Giants. I just hitting hits. You know what I mean? It plays no matter where you're playing. So dude can pretty much spray the ball wherever he wants. Top of the order, a lot of opportunity. Yeah, give me Jung-Hoo Lee.
Interesting. I'm actually on the Yamamoto train, though, as well with Kyle, because I still think when the time is right, he's going to get into a groove, whether it's to start the season or it's going to be in June. He's going to get on this run where he's going to start to feel it. And if not, then Dodgers fans are going to panic a lot that they should. But I just don't see it. I think Yamamoto, watching his stuff, watching his preparation, I just think that if it takes him a little adjustment period, he's going to figure it out. And when he figures it out, I think he's going to go through a dominant stretch enough to win the Rookie of the Year.
I like it. American League Manager of the Year. I'll start us off here.
Oh, I think I know what you're doing,
Uh-oh.
and I think I'm going to go with you. Go for it.
Where do you think I'm going? I'll let you take
Go
it.
for it, pal.
Where do you think I'm going?
Where are you going?
I don't know how to say his last name. I've never
That's
said
the guy.
it before.
That's the guy. Matt Quattraro of the
There it
Kansas
is.
City Royals.
Yeah,
Leading
I'm with
his
you.
Royals-
Anything, look, I didn't have them finishing that high, but anything is better than last year. So let's give him the award. Yeah.
That's
You
my
were
pick.
having, a freaking postseason wild card run.
the
So
last okay, a run that's a bit excessive. I had them in the final wild card spot, and they're probably
In a
losing first
one game
round.
bounce.
Exactly, but that's what
That's
we're
fair.
working with.
Anything's better in the basement. So
Correct.
yeah, I'm with you.
Brian, who do you got?
Into existence. How about the Minnesota Twins? Rocco Baldelli. I'm going to switch it up here
Solid.
where I think I'm gaining more traction that the Twins are just going to have a really, really good year. And I have nothing really to base that off of, just this gut feeling. But I do really like the stability that it feels like he has brought to the team. I think that he's settled in as the manager there. And I didn't want to go with the same thing through looking through it with Bochy and Hyde and like the two last year who very well could win it this year, right? But I do just think that Rocco Baldelli, maybe the Twins and him show that he should be given more credit as the manager, and I think this could be a big year for him and the Minnesota Twinkies.
Solid.
I like it. National League Manager of the Year, I'm going Craig Counsell.
That's a cop-out. I'm calling cop-out.
Is it, though? Because you have the Cardinals winning the division. So
I still think he's the best manager in the Central.
I agree.
But he's not going to win it.
Right, but wouldn't this be his first? Correct me if I'm wrong. He has not won the award yet, has he?
Yeah, but that's a Milwaukee thing. That's not a council thing.
Right. So like,
I just think it's a cop-out.
It's not a shoot.
I think it's an obvious answer. I think it is.
That's fine.
I think it is.
Obvious.
Give me Ryan's guy. I'm staying in the Central. David Bell.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Boom, baby.
Give me that one more time, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah. Ryan's back. Yeah, David Bell. And why, though? Why are you taking him?
Dude, I can't explain it. They're just exciting. They're exciting. I see, like, you remember a couple of years ago where the Mariners, like, end of the season run started to build up and they just had all this momentum. I see something with the Reds. I don't know what it'll be.
Y'all are going to get me. Y'all are going to convince me. I might be on this Reds.
So it sounds like if you're doing this, I don't know why you don't have the Reds win the division with this energy, Nate.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know?
I can't quite get there
It's
yet.
okay.
But big props to David Bell. So that's a lifer. That's an MLB lifer. That man knows ball.
He knows ball. He knows ball.
Give him the award.
And if the Reds do win that division, he will be manager of the year unless the Dodgers and Dave Roberts win 120 games. But that's what the standard's going to have to be, is that the Dodgers and Dave Roberts are going to have to break the record. If not, David Bell the Reds win the NL Central, David Bell gets manager of the year. Book it here on the 3-0 take. Book it.
I'm about it.
Book it.
American League Comeback Player of the Year. What do you got, Nate?
Hand up accountability, cop out. Give me Mike Trout. Sorry. Sorry.
Mike Trout.
Yeah.
I'm running
it's
back.
A cop out.
I'm running back the vibes that I had last March when I thought that it was finally going to be Mike Trout's year. But I think now that he's the freaking ringleader out there in Los Angeles again, I think he's going to reclaim what was previously his show out there in Anaheim. And he's going to remind people in 2024 just how good he is. So I'm taking Mike Trout. That
mediocre circus is all his.
I thought this was hot takes, guys. I thought this was spicy.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
It just it fits.
It's just
well.
Right there.
Okay, but
right
so
there.
in this case, if we're talking comeback, was he injured or just like had a really bad year?
I had to think about this.
I don't know what the qualifications are.
It's been both. I mean, because you had obviously Liam Hendricks coming back from cancer. He gets it. And then I don't even remember who won it in conjunction with him.
Well, I was just saying in this case, like guys that didn't play as well. That's the angle I'm going to go with. Just comeback was terrible in 2023.
We'll just say the numbers weren't there, whether it was due to an injury
the
or
numbers
lack of
weren't
performance.
there, and people weren't happy with the investment. But Carlos Correa, I think, is going to bounce back. Going with this Twins theme right now, watching him, seeing the talent, especially with him swinging the bat, I think he's too talented of a hitter to have the numbers that he did last year. I believe he hit 230 on the season, and so many people were doing the comparisons. Yeah, I had it right here so everyone, or I can see it again. Sorry, I pulled it down for a second. He is a career 272 hitter, and his average got dropped down this past season where he only had 18 home runs and he played 135 games, but he hit 230 with a 399 slugging. He has a career 468 slugging. Something's got to give. I think that Carlos Correa, that's my comeback right there. I know we're talking about different things. I want a different angle.
Bounce back player of the year.
Bounce back, comeback, tomato. Book it.
He literally referred to himself as Dior before the season started last year.
I'm not saying I like all.
Those are the numbers he put up.
I'm not saying I like the other stuff. I'm just saying watching him play, watching how he can swing the bat, whatever Carlos Correa that was this past year, that's not the Carlos Correa that should be. And if not, then Twins fans, you can be really pissed because he should bounce back.
I'm not knocking the pick, just for the record. I just think it's funny that he referred to himself as Dior when it came time
Personally,
for
I wouldn't do that
team
ever.
shopping.
It hurt. It hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not ideal.
Well, scumbag. What? NL?
National League Comeback Player of the Year. You're going to like this one. Already mentioned his name on here once.
Oh?
OC?
Oh!
O'Neal Cruz.
Let's go.
Give me the National League Comeback Player of the Year.
Big
It's
fan.
easy.
Love it.
Cash money.
Yeah. Look at us.
I might have to join that
Look at that.
bandwagon because I just think that's so good. I honestly,
He is raking.
well,
right
no.
now.
So my thing was I didn't really know how to categorize him because he's so young and thinking about comeback. But if we're talking about the catastrophic injury he had and all of it went down, sign me up on the O'Neal Cruz. And again, I got to play against him, got to see it, see what happened. Dude hits balls a bajillion miles an hour. He's like 6'7" and can run like a deer. I think he's in for a massive season. So if he qualifies, I'm joining the bandwagon. O'Neal Cruz. Make it a clean
Big sweep right there. I like that.
All right. Getting into the big two here.
These are big ones.
Cy Young and MVP. American League Cy Young, Ryan.
American League Cy Young. Why am I blanking and just thinking of the National League Cy Young? I just had this in my mind.
No notes, Ryan.
I know
It's not what politicians
I
do.
know it was all mental.
He's like the waiter at the restaurant that goes around a table of 8 and memorizes everything.
I did.
He said, "There's
Why?
no way that you can do that," and they do it.
Why
Cider
was
Ranch?
I blanking on this? It hurts.
Extra crispy.
Because I kept trying to say I was excited about my National League one.
You want to
Nate,
pass it?
Yeah, pass
Nate,
it for
hit
a
that
second
pass
so if
button.
I can remember at my old age now of 30.
I thought I was coming in a little spicy. I thought I had something here, but one of our listeners shared this already, so maybe it's not that spicy. Tariq Skubal.
Wow. I had a feeling one of you guys were going to go with him.
I just like it. I don't know what's going on in Detroit. That's a different thread to pull on, but that guy knows what he's doing. Give me Tariq Skubal.
I like that spicy. That is spicy, and that's why I realized
That's spicy.
Yeah. And I got one spicy right back to you because that's what it was. He was a finalist last year in the AL Cy Young. Give me Kevin Gausman with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Ooh.
Is that you?
That's my pick.
Ooh.
That was my 2023 fantasy baseball ace of my rotation. Boy, did he have a season.
So why don't you explain that for a second? Because I don't think people realize the evolution of Kevin Gausman. And the thing is, he's not throwing 98 miles an hour, but how many strikeouts he had? Like, if you had him in fantasy, holy shirts and pants,
He led the American League in strikeouts. Take this as you will. He was an all-star and finished third in the Cy Young voting last year. So I feel like this is the year he gets it done.
Very impressed. Rye guy, you got connections with Baltimore there. I faced him in high school. And before he went to LSU, he was definitely just like a big fastball and a big hook kind of guy, touching triple digits. Now he's like gotten into this prime phase of figuring out how to pitch.
He knows who
and
he
that
is.
Sinker's
a
devastating.
lot more effective than 99 flat.
So I watched it again.
Yeah.
I was watching his highlights a little bit, and it's just convincing me on the ball placement. And that's the thing we're looking at, and guys are like, yeah, he's not throwing 96, 97 all the time. He just knows where to put it. It's deceptive, and it feels like it just falls off, and you're sitting there, and he just sets you up now. So I'm with you. Yeah. I think he's in for that big year. That's the one I was trying to think of for a while because I just don't think he gets enough credit. I would have sneaky, and maybe it was a year away. Again, I don't want to be a homer with it. I do like what, and honestly, the issue with Kyle Bradish was a concern, but Kevin Gausman, man, let me tell you what, that guy can pitch. Pitch pretty good.
Yep.
National League Cy Young. I'm going with the ace of my World Series winning ball club, Zach
Really?
Wheeler. Fresh off an extension, a historic extension, I might add. The vibes, they just don't change in Philly, man. They, for all intents and purposes, they got the same ball club. I'm seeing fans kick around on Twitter the idea of keeping "Dancing on My Own" as the team's song. It just doesn't change. It's rinse and repeat. And I know the outcome hasn't been what they've wanted it to be the last few years, but I think this is the year they finally get it done. And I think Zach Wheeler plays a huge part in that.
Give me Quadzilla. Give me Spencer Strider. Strikeout monster. Thigh monster. Just the dude. Enough said.
That's it.
You think he gets it done on strikeouts alone?
I think he gets it done, man. I think he gets it done.
You guys ready?
This was the one
You've
you were
been pumped
excited
about this. Yeah.
Well, I just think I thought maybe you guys might take him. They might not compete in the NL as much, or they might surprise you, but I'm taking Logan Webb with the San Francisco Giants. Love his stuff. Love the way he pitches. Last year, on his down year, I guess, 3.25 ERA. Previous year in 2022, a 2.90, 3.03 the year before. He's just flirting right now with having a dominant season. And I think this is going to be the year that Logan Webb, glasses back on, this is going to be the year that Logan Webb, if the Giants aren't going to the playoffs, someone's still taking home some hardware. I think Logan Webb is going to be that guy to do that in the National League.
Ground ball pitcher addition of Matt Chapman on the left side. Doesn't always hurt.
Never hurts.
I see what you're doing.
Never hurts.
See what you're doing.
It's connecting the dots. I like it. Rounding out the awards here. MVP picks. Let's go National League. Let's start in the National League.
Yeah. I like that.
I have a feeling I think I know who Nate's going with in the American League. But let's start National League. Ryan, who do you got?
Well, it's a Dodger.
Uh-oh.
It's Ohtani. Just kidding. It's not Ohtani. Give me Mookie Betts.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Marcus Lynn Betts.
Mookie, the former great Boston Red Sox. That was shipped.
Okay, that was unnecessary. How long has he been in LA now? That was unnecessary.
Jab it. Send those jabs.
Just a little jab,
Whatever.
but he
solidarity, and then he hits me with that. Whatever.
Yep, sorry. I love Mookie Betts. I was thinking about Freddie Freeman, and the idea of Ronald Acuna Jr. repeating was very enticing. But I think people forget how good Mookie Betts is, man. He is truly one of the game's best players. That, like, truly, I still don't think people talk about him enough, and we still are talking about him this way.
And he had an insane year last year, and it was still overshadowed by Acuna. Mm-hmm. That's what we're dealing with here. But I'm with you.
If he can play above average shortstop, it's a big chip in that pile. So I hear you. I'm not going Mookie, but I am staying with the Dodgers. Look, Freddie Freeman having the lineup that he's going to have. I don't know what the 2-3 situation is between Freddie and Ohtani in the lineup. I don't know. I know they've played with stuff in spring training. I just think no matter what, that guy knows how to hit. And when there's not even the notion of him being the biggest feared hitter in the lineup, that's pretty insane to me. So give me Freddie for MVP.
And that's a help to him too.
Yeah.
So American League.
I'll get it out the way.
I think assuming I know who you have here, I think I split. I think I went Ryan National League. I think I'm going with you AL if it's who I think it is.
Man's going to get the biggest contract we've seen in a long time. Juan Soto,
yes, sir,
is going to. He's found. I genuinely. I'm not trying to sound like a homer, I've never seen Juan Soto be more in his own skin than when he's wearing a pinstripe uniform. He's not even in New York yet.
I hate it.
And it just fits. It just makes sense. It just looks right. He's comfortable. Put him 2, put him 3 in the lineup. It really doesn't matter. He's going to do what he wants. Juan Soto. Career high home runs. Juan Soto.
Wow. Short porch. That's why I think he's going to fit in real nice there. And I'm with you. I said it on a previous episode. I hate to say it, but I don't know if I've ever seen somebody, current day, of course, modern era, that fits the Yankee look. My goodness.
It's nuts.
That guy was.
He always was.
I hate to say
when
it.
we were in the Nationals organizations, everyone still thought about it. It's like, he's just going to end up in New York someday, isn't he? Just that was like the thought in the mind, just talking amongst people. Of course, like, go to the Nationals, you win the World Series there, but just felt like he was made to play for the Yankees, and he's in for a monster. To me, he's a top 5 player. Top 5 player, no doubt about it. Him and Judge, that's the best duo, really, to me, hitting wise.
Yeah.
In all of baseball, and that's saying something right now.
Balance, like it's patience, it's vision, it's like
power.
It's all of it.
So I did a breakdown of him on my show, and it showed if he throws it, if you throw a ball in the strike zone, Juan doesn't miss it. Like that to me is the scary thing. I looked at his chart. He doesn't miss balls in the zone.
And then has the highest take percentage.
Yeah. Is there anybody in the league that has a better idea of the strike zone than Juan Soto? I don't think there is.
It's someone close, and it's Aaron Judge. Do you know what I mean? For controlling the strike zone, to have those 1-2. You're right. I mean, I think it's enough to carry him far enough, but I do think he wins MVP and just gets the most script perfect scenario walking into a free agency offseason.
The Yankees better play that smart. You don't want to let that slip away.
They never do.
Ryan, do we got your AL pick? Did we already get it?
No, you didn't.
Oh.
I do believe.
I think I know.
That grin tells me that we're staying close to home.
I think I know this one.
So if this individual doesn't, I do believe Soto is like a gut one where I'm like, like your mind wants to say, but also then I realized that and I told you guys this, the only oh crap moments I've ever had in my career with guys that I've been around in professional baseball, there's 2. One is Juan Soto when he was my teammate. When you're different. I think you guys know who the second one is. The second one is a Mr. Gunnar Henderson in Baltimore. And I understand. I think Soto's going to have a ridiculous year. And I said that Gunnar was going to win an MVP in his first 5 years. But I think something turned on inside of him down the stretch that I think that Gunnar Henderson is absolutely going to annihilate batters or players. I think he's going to be a Gold Glove caliber fielder. I think he's going to have an insanely high WAR to put him in the conversation. And here's my thing. Yes, he had his up and down moments. No doubt about it. Glasses say it all. But Gunnar Henderson to me is a guy that's going to rival. And I think if the Orioles are going to keep going as far as they are, I think Gunnar's going to push for 35, 40 jacks. And then I think he's going to play ridiculous defense. And you guys might think I'm crazy. He had 28 jacks last year.
I don't think you're crazy. It's wild to hear Gunnar Henderson 40 home runs, but when you remember that he hit 28, you're like, it's not that crazy. And might I add, the home run he hit against Texas in the DS last year, that made me feel something. I was like,
this
kid's special.
He is a guy that's not content with being okay. He is not content with how things even started for him last year, and he's not content with just being one of the best. He wants to be the best player. And so just to give you a context to this, take the glass off so I can read this. First 2 months, he had 5 home runs. The rest of the way, he had 23. So I think that Gunnar Henderson that the last 4 months is going to show up. My heart is with Gunnar. Mine says Soto, but I think those two players are in for massive years, but I'm giving it to the Bird. Give me Gunnar.
I love it.
Ryan Ripken for mayor.
Right. Episode 417, Ryan Ripken for mayor. All right, we have reached the finale here. I know you never thought it
The spiciest of spicy.
You never thought we'd make it, but we are here closing out with just some general / storyline type hot takes here. Maybe things that we wanted to address, but they didn't really fit elsewhere in the episode. Just giving us a chance here to share some of our takes that we think will pan out over the course of the 2024 season. Nate, lead us off here.
This is hot. I always have one that's a little rude. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to speak from my heart. Javi Baez breaks the longest consecutive hit streak held by Chris Davis. 54 at-bats.
Hitless streak.
Hitless.
Yes. Wow.
The longest consecutive hitless streak is no longer going to be Chris Davis' crown. It'll be Javi Baez. What is happening? What is that?
That is a take and a half.
You're facing goons in spring training, and you're still looking like this. 54 at-bats, ladies and gents. Keep an eye on it.
I put up his numbers from spring training the other day, and I can't seem to find them, but they were atrocious.
He's like 1 for 35.
It's insane.
It's insane. With no adjustments ever being made.
Ryan, give us your first.
Just a bold.
Some bold take.
Player. Bold statement on the season.
All of it.
It could be about a player.
Gunnar Henderson. No, I'm just kidding.
Could be about a team. Could be about a manager. Good or bad. Ryan might not have 3.
I might not. I'm a little.
You can
hit that pass button.
You can compile it into one just super spicy take if you want. We can come back if you want to. If you want to,
right now, I will be honest. So go ahead.
I understand. It's late.
Only 3 hours in.
It's real late. I think it's officially the longest podcast we've ever done. I'll take the reins here. We already mentioned it, or actually, we just got done talking about it. Nate, you mentioned if he could play average to above average shortstop. I've got Mookie Betts winning a Gold Glove in his first full season at his respective infield position. And I say respective infield position, meaning shortstop or second, because as we all know, this whole Dave Roberts permanent for now nonsense could see Mookie Betts moving back to second base. So wherever he ends up, I've got him taking the Gold Glove. He's already won the Gold Glove before. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest athlete in baseball. We're talking like athletic ability. Mookie Betts, I don't see any problems happening there in the infield.
I'd really like to know the list of names that have won a Gold Glove at multiple positions. I'd really be curious about that. I don't think we've ever seen one from outfield to infield. I can almost promise that. The only thing I can think of is maybe Mayer's Papa over there sliding from short to third. I can't think of too many names.
I don't think he didn't even win a Gold Glove at third either.
Really? I can't maybe A-Rod from short to third. I can't think of too many people.
And that's what I'm saying. You're right. It's a hard list to put together, even with great players. Where you're like, man, they're great. They can go play somewhere else.
But Mookie Betts could be that kind of guy. I mean,
that's crazy.
Tatis moved to the outfield last year and won the Platinum Glove.
That's true. It's true too.
So I mean, just flip the scenario.
We've seen that. I mean, a Gold Glove caliber established in one position, moving to right field and shortstop couldn't be more different. So
fair, yeah,
that's crazy. I like it.
Nate,
right guy, you need a pass.
Actually, this was one that there was a certain pitcher rotation here, and I think I like to always follow guys' journeys, and this is not just because of the sense of, and it led me to this kind of a bold take. If the Tigers are to make some noise, I think that their starting rotation finishes in the top 5 in ERA. Ooh. And I wanted to make sure and confirm that of why I look at this. And I remember the barrage of talented pitchers that they had. First round picks. They went through a time where it was Casey Mize, Faedo, Matt Manning, and all of them. And like everyone, I remember they were like, this is the team that's going to put it together. The other name that I wanted to bring in that got slandered a lot because he didn't pitch well with the Cardinals, didn't pitch as well with the Orioles the way that they wanted, but he signed a 1-year deal for $13 million because he has upside and he's 27, 28 years old, Jack Flaherty. So I look at this potential. My bold prediction, I didn't have the Tigers in the top 3 or winning the division, but I think this starting rotation puts it together. I think we see a top 5 Tigers ERA for this year.
That's spicy.
You told me you wanted me to do spicy.
All right.
I like it.
I see you're spicy. I raise you spicy. Clayton Kershaw will reach his 3,000th strikeout in a postseason complete game win.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even think the career totals.
He's 56 away.
But I don't think the career totals are accumulated during the offseason.
What do you mean? During the postseason?
During the postseason.
Oh, yeah, they are.
I don't think. I'm like I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, I think they separate them.
No way.
Yeah.
Why would they?
You said he's 56 strikeouts away?
That's it. Set to return in August, which we know means September.
I must have missed that. They pushed it to August already?
Yeah, that's what I read.
Oh, wow. I must have missed that. Yikes.
Either way, 56. I mean, that's going to take some time.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Probably 10 to 12 starts. You really don't think so? I'm just, like 90.
No, we need to confirm this. We need to confirm this.
Because this is really just cooling down my hot take here. Because the hot take is, in essence, more about the fact that he's going to go a CG.
Yeah, maybe we'll just go with that. We'll just go CG in the postseason.
Give me the strikeout.
No,
why would it count?
Just for Nate, give him the strikeout. Give him the strikeout.
But it doesn't count. MLB.com.
Okay, it doesn't count.
Any playoff stats count towards regular season totals? No. So, and this is in reference to Albert Pujols. It says, so Albert Pujols, who hit 24 homers this season and 703 for his career, would not add to that total. That's what I thought. Yeah. I can't give you the strikeout, but I'll give you the CG. My second hot take, Ryan, you actually almost said this verbatim, but you didn't quite get to it, which I'm glad.
You're welcome.
But you alluded to it. All 5 NL Central teams will be within reach of the division on August 1st.
Wow. What's within reach? What's the argument?
That's what I wanted to leave that a little open-ended.
Single digit gap?
Yeah. I mean, August 1st, we've seen gaps larger.
All within 10
closed.
games then. I think that all within 10.
I'm saying, I'm saying under 10 games. That's kind of my threshold. Because
you said the NL or the AL?
NL Central. All 5 NL Central teams will be within reach of the crown on August 1st.
That is quite spicy.
So hopefully, if that comes to fruition, that'll be an interesting deadline.
I'm struggling to see the Brewers hanging around till August.
It's up for grabs. Ryan, you got another one? You want to flip it to Nate for his final?
Speaking of the AL, NL, AL. Wow, brain is short-circuiting here. Woo!
We're at the finish line, Ryan. Finish strong.
We're here.
Bold take here. Bold take. I think that I'm doubling down. If Rocco Baldelli wins Manager of the Year, I think the Twins win the division by 15 games.
That's a lot.
15 games?
I think that division, unfortunately,
That's a lot.
as much as it's going to come right down to the wire, or the Twins are winning by 15 games.
The Yankees are either going to finish 102 and 60 or 60 and 102.
That might be
that's the vibes you're giving me right now.
That's late night rye right here, but I think that Twins are either finishing 15 up in first or they're finishing dead last. There we go.
Wow.
So I just did a quick Google search. Largest MLB division lead. The first thing that comes up is a Reddit article referencing the 1995 Cleveland Indians. Said they had the largest division lead in MLB history at the time, 30 games over the second place Royals.
Ooh, that's
but
30.
was that by the
That's
end
30.
of the season or
That's 30.
That's 15.
I know, but I had a full season. Yeah, I don't know if that was by the end of the year or just throughout the season.
Hey,
anyway,
Kyle, guess what? I said 15.
That's big boy.
I know. But if they had a 30-game lead in the division in June, which is crazy enough, then that's one thing. But if you finish 30 games, 15 is piece of cake. But I just needed to clarify.
Is
that's
it?
all.
Okay. I thought who's winning the division for you? Twins, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, the Twins.
Okay.
Ryan's getting a little spicy here.
I like it.
Down the finish line. I like it. Is this the last one for Nate?
It's my last one. My spiciest. Saved it for last. Pete Alonso is going to win the NL home run title wearing a jersey that is not a Mets jersey. Book it.
I love it.
March 14th.
Could very, very much see that happening. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I'm not a Pete Alonso guy, but
Nor am I.
would I be happy that he gets out of Queens? Would I be upset that I can't kind of drag him the same way? I don't know.
We'll see.
I like that.
That's a realistic, spicy hot take.
The NL home run crown.
The NL home run crown.
I'm going to stay in the NL as well, and it's actually going to be my second Dodgers-related take of my 3. Hate to say it. Love you for 2004, my friend, but Dave Roberts is dismissed if the Dodgers do not win the World Series.
Whew.
That's real spicy. Real spicy. I mean, you got to think he's on the hot seat. I mean, especially with the team he's putting out there this year. Come on.
If they don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You just have to put
But
your
you've
right
seen it. He gets in
the
his
right
own
shoe.
way, and Dodgers fans will tell you that till they're blue in the face. So if he can't do it with his team, I don't know what to tell you. And maybe they, and honestly, I've heard rumors about Alex Cora maybe filling the shoes in LA because Alex Cora is as good as gone. He doesn't want to be in Boston anymore. It's becoming very clear. And I don't blame him because he's not being given any supporting cast on the diamond. So all I'd say, if the Dodgers don't win it all, Dave Roberts looking for a new job.
I like that. Mayor Ripken's cooking back there. Look at him.
This is great. I love this. I mean, this This
is off the cuff hot takes too.
This is, and I want him to finish us out strong here. Close us out, Ryan. Put the bookend.
No disappointments.
Give us the bookend to episode 417.
Where do I want to go with this is the question. You know what?
Oh, boy.
The Red Sox.
Just had to go here.
Oh, I'm going there. There becomes so much dysfunction with the Red Sox this year. Terrible year, and Rafael Devers becomes the next Red Sox to be traded.
Get out of here.
Of Boston.
Ryan.
He realizes the team is not going to build around him and forces his way out of Beantown. He made it very clear.
Dare I ask for a location?
Do we want to get that spicy?
They gave him this massive contract, and you think he's gone.
They gave him this massive contract. I think it's all going to come down if the Red Sox do not take a step forward. Do not take a step forward, and they finish in the bottom, and they say, we're going to build the team, Rafael. We're going to build the team around you. And then they just don't. And he just gets fed up, and he's gone.
It's the same. It's the almost verbatim the same situation with Cora, but just as a manager. Hey, Alex, we've got you, man. We're going to surround you with what you need, with the pieces you need. Nope. Cora's gone.
So
now, thanks to you, Ryan, this is like the new worst fear that I didn't know I had until just now.
Speak it into existence. He made it
Let's
very
not
clear.
And say we did.
He made it very clear that he believes that the front office is not focusing on this team right now. And I'm curious how long that will last. The money will feel good, but if the Red Sox are really bad and they don't make some good moves going into the next year or at the trade deadline, Rafael Devers traded away. And the power lineup that could have been Rafael Devers, Mookie Betts, JD Martinez,
Xander Bogaerts.
And then you could even thank you, Tristan Casas, all of it there.
Bobby Dahlbeck, big letdown there.
Yeah.
He hit some tanks though.
Verdugo.
I've seen that.
He's a triple.
Oh, that's the other tank. That's the other bold take. Verdugo is going to have the most home runs he's had in his career, and he's going to hit 7 against New York. Against Boston.
Against Boston. Wow, really just piling it on here to close us out, Ryan.
Good
I appreciate that.
Ryan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ryan Ripien from Air, everybody.
I can see who my real friends are.
I'm here.
All right. Okay. Into the third hour, we took this thing. Ryan, you need to get home.
Yeah, it's just a short hour drive, but we will make it.
I sure hope so. Text us when you get home so we know you made it home safe.
I will. You guys are good kids.
Hey, I appreciate that. Puts a smile on my face every time you tell me. That'll. No, go ahead. Say it. Go ahead. Despite what?
Nope. You know what? Just you're a really good kid, Kyle, and I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, Ryan. Really means a lot. Hot takes and predictions for 2024 in the books. Whew. Episode 417 comes to a close. Gentlemen, I appreciate you sticking this one out. The listeners appreciate you. If you made it this long, we appreciate you. We love you. Even if you didn't make it this long, 1, you're not hearing this, but 2, just know we appreciate you. This might be just a little quick note here before we go. This might be one of the last episodes of Nate for a while because,
yeah, we'll see. We will see.
Big life change coming up here soon.
I'm gonna do my best. Your boy's getting married here in a few weeks, and then your boy's gonna disappear to the Caribbean for another week after that. So
you're gonna be getting a lot more of Ryan, hopefully.
A lot more Rye Guy, a lot more Mayor Ripken over there.
sometime soon. So we will figure. There you go. There you go. We'll figure it out. But appreciate y'all listening. And we will talk to you guys sometime soon.
I love it. I love this. Look at us. Look at this. Peace out, everybody. Don't go chasing curveballs.
Couple good guys and Kyle.
Thanks. Ryan, give us your sign off. We'll get out of here.
All right. Sorry. I forget what I said before. I've been saying a lot recently. Have a day, have a night, have a weekend.
It's a great day to have a day.
Have a day. Great day to have a day. There it was.
There you go. We made it. We made it. We love y'all. And as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.